Welcome back to Derailed. I'm your host, JJ Lahey, here with one and only Jake Schyvinck. We're going to be talking about a lot of different stuff. Tool for this is helping us get our priorities straight. Are we ready for Ed Policy Days? Only 6 more months. We are counting down the days, brother. Believe me. Believe me here.
Yes.
Packer Dog says, show opener with pics of Ed Policy. Yeah, of course. Hey, only Ed Policy can save us now. That's where we're at. Chris says Gary Bears. Yeah, I can't wait for them to do the Gary Bears. It's gonna be so freaking funny. Can't wait. The folks in the chat are talking about the show Community. Tyler Dershel, Tool for this, both talking about the show Community. Have you seen Community, Jake? Because I have not. I've seen little clips of it. I think I would like it, but I haven't actually sat down and watched it ever.
I have not seen it.
Well, there you go. We haven't seen it. We'll have to. As I said in my comment, I only have 35 more full TV shows to get through before I'm all caught up on my list.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, speaking of getting caught up, we're in the playoffs. We are facing off against the Gary Bears, Decatur Staleys. They were almost the Arlington Heights Bears. Gary Bears is significantly funnier than Arlington Heights Bears. So, this is do or die. You have to win this one. No excuses. I think it's been a overall, certainly a disappointment of a season. Just not really what we were expecting out of this season. This is the chance to be able to either put a check mark on the season and say, hey, it was a successful year, right? We went 4-2 against the division in the regular season, have a chance to knock the Bears out of the playoffs and end their season. This is your last hurrah to build something to hang your hat on for the 2025 season. If you get knocked out of the playoffs by the Bears, and particularly then if they go on a playoff run, you have this is a burn the tape season where you want to forget about it as soon as possible. I mean, I can't stress enough like what a huge difference it is between winning and losing this game. Even if you just win it by a point, and in overtime, right? It just doesn't. Style points don't matter. I saw some people talking on social media about like, oh, this needs to be like a butt whipping that the Bears are never going to forget. Would love that. I'd absolutely love that. Name of the game is just win, baby. Just win. That's what it comes down to.
Pretty much.
I guess the Packers decided that they needed all their chips on the table for this game to win it, and that they felt like this was the matchup because they punted on the Vikings game 3 or 4 days before it even was played. Saw a lot of people talking about, oh, it's a meaningless game. We have different definitions of meaningless games then. To me, a division rival is never going to be a meaningless game. Well, you can't improve your playoff seeding from the 7th seed to the 6th seed. Okay. It's a division rival. You guys are always talking to me about how much you hate the Vikings and like Vikings fans. Not buying it. I'm thankful as someone who lives in Michigan.
Would you say a meaningful game is one you tune into?
I watched 0 seconds of the Vikings game. The Packers clearly didn't care, so why should I care? Why should I care about a game the Packers don't care about? They didn't care.
I agree.
Not at all. Why should I waste my time watching a game that the team playing doesn't care about? Obviously, some players cared. Barryn Sorrell started the game. He was super hyped to start the game. I saw people on Twitter saying that he had a really good game. I didn't even go to PFF afterwards and look at the grades. I should have. I didn't because I didn't care about this game. At some point, I will go back and watch tape on the guys who I'm interested in for 2026, and Barryn Sorrell is going to be one of those guys. I heard he had a nice game. So we will go back and see what he did. As somebody who lives in Michigan, I am very thankful that we swept the Lions. Very, very thankful. Makes my life a lot easier for the next 6 months plus. So I'm very happy about that. And I don't live near Minnesota. I don't know any Minnesota fans. So, it does make my life a lot more difficult that we split with the Vikings. A lot of people who are Packer fans claim to really hate the Vikings and then also called this a meaningless game. We don't see eye to eye. Whatever. But this playoff game here against the Bears is for all the marbles. Adam Huddle says definitely didn't watch that turd.
I think that's a good description of the game. For sure.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I'm behind on something. So Tool for this says, I live in Minnesota. Losing Walt is a victory enough. Did he resign today? I know he had a press conference.
I have no idea. It's not my state. It's a good question.
I saw a meme of Marco Rubio suiting up to also be the governor of Minnesota, which I think is funny because of the whole, he's got like 7 jobs. I thought that was funny. I'm guessing that means he resigned today. Oh, he stated he's not running again. Oh, okay. Thank you, Doug, for the context. And then let's see, what is Drew saying? Drew's dog got bit at doggy daycare about halfway through the game, so he had to go pick him up early. Oh no, it was okay. Okay, and then Tool for this says, I'm indifferent about the Vikings. They're like mosquitoes, annoying in their times, but don't actually accomplish anything. So yeah, as somebody, like I said, who doesn't live near Minnesota, the Vikings have always been the division rival that I've cared about the least. It's Bears, Lions, kind of a gap, and then Vikings. Most years, I would slot the 49ers slightly ahead of the Vikings, actually, in terms of who I hate. Why? Because the 49ers impact our lives. The Vikings don't as frequently impact our lives. 2019, in the division round, the Vikings played the Niners, and I rooted for the Vikings. I didn't want to play the Niners. And I was perfectly fit to play round 3 against the Vikings. But they couldn't play that. So that was just another reason to be mad at the Vikings.
That's fair.
Adam Huddle says, every Vikings fan I knew already punted on this year and also didn't watch that turd of a game. Fair enough. Okay, Jake, any thoughts that you want to get out of the way before we move to structured podcasting? I looked at this JJ Closet.
I don't
fan confirmed. No, I'm not.
I don't think so. I don't think there's anything we have to get out of the way. Yeah, I mean, Sorrell, Oliver, that was cool.
Oliver played.
Oliver did play. Yes.
Was he good? How did they use him? What position did he play? I want to know.
Edge.
Okay, interesting. Tiny edge.
4 pressures on 15 pass rush snaps.
Did he? If you like squinted your eyes, like he's already.
No.
He didn't look like he was wearing a Jets jersey to you, if you squinted.
Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to say. He didn't look like he was wearing a Jets jersey. I don't think so. A Jets jersey.
Tiny pass rusher drafted to the Jets.
The Jets jersey. No. I don't know what that means, but I would say no. I have no clue what that means, but I'm going to go with no on that.
Okay.
What do we got on tap? Are we going? I will say we are. Because last week we said, oh yeah, we're going to do the All Pros. We didn't do that.
I have my All Pros pulled up here.
Well,
I did want to respond to Tyler Dershell's comment.
We're going to talk.
He says the only thing that this game provided was that McCarthy still stinks. The funniest tweet that I saw when I opened up Twitter, like after the game, was friend of mine tweeted, if this version of the defense shows up, in the playoffs. Watch out, baby. I'm like, we're playing the Vikings, right? Like they have a wicked defense, but their offense makes everybody look good. They have a very, very bad offense.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if there's anything to take away from whatever our offense could do. I mean, our defense could do against their offense. Like, I think you could put me out there on the field and survive one snap without giving up a touchdown against the Vikings defense. Which you probably couldn't say against most NFL defenses. Most NFL defenses would see me on the field and then make me be the reason that they score a touchdown. The Vikings, we could survive one snap with me out there. Adam Huddle says new Dallas defensive coordinator Brian Flores. I would love that. Drew says Bears played their starters, looked terrible. Well, they are terrible. The Bears are not a good team. Had an emotional game and still lost. Their momentum is worse than ours. I think last week, Jake and I had the debate. Jake, was it on the pod or was it after the pod? We had a debate about what was the Bears' best performance this year. And I said it was their loss against the Niners. And then you said it was their loss against the Packers. And I said that's probably correct. That their loss against the Packers
on the pod
in the first game they played against the Packers was actually their best performance of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was on here, pretty sure.
Somebody who watched,
Pretty
tell
sure
us,
we
did we
did
say
that
that on the pod last week, or was that
sure.
after, in the after show? Jake and I talk about like our future dream of this show blowing up to the point where we have like the public show and then like a paid private after party where you can tune into just the bull that we do afterwards.
It's true.
We need to get more than
we did talk about
591 YouTube subscribers.
This is true.
Adam says Packers need to stop the run and not turn the ball over. Also, let Love actually throw. That'll be a W. The return of Zach Tom is going to be interesting. Probably one of the biggest impacts for the offense will be the return of Zach Tom, not discounting the job that Jordan Morgan did out of position at right tackle. Sorry. But obviously, like, it's Zach Tom. So, you watched the game. Who played left tackle? Who played left tackle?
That's right.
Was it Sheed again at left tackle, or did they move Jordan to left tackle?
I believe we got our wish. We got left tackle Jordan Morgan.
Gosh, it's amazing. Here, I'm pulling up PFF. We're just going.
And Kennard at right tackle. Wow. Profound stuff that those two played those positions.
Which is
I can't believe it.
Which is like how many offensive line coaches do you think would have arrived at that conclusion? Like every offensive line coach besides Luke Butkus? Like
so many.
85% of offensive line coaches?
Yeah.
Jordan Morgan had a 67.7 pass blocking grade, 64.9 run blocking grade. That's about as good as it gets, for Mr. Jordan Morgan. Played him at left tackle. How many penalties? One penalty. And then Kennard did basically exactly average at right tackle. Anthony Belton was the highest graded offensive lineman of the day at right guard. Love to see that. No penalties. Love to see that. Oh, boy. Left guard, Lecitus Smith. Killing it with a 74 pass blocking grade at left guard. Gosh, how funny would it be? How funny would it be if Lecitus Smith unseated Aaron Banks?
I'm in on this.
It can't be worse.
Give me all of
that. Packers Doug says Monk at center. So I see that. Monk played center. He was good in run blocking and atrocious in pass pro. That's not what you want to see. Chris Brooks had a stinker of a game in pass pro. Now, he only pass blocked 3 times. and he gave up a QB hit. So that's how that happened. That's how they gave him a 22 pass blocking grade. Drake Dabney pass blocked 7 times, had 31.5. Did anybody pick up Mercedes Lewis? I mean, I know he's 49 years old.
I don't think so. I think he's still
with
on
the fact that we have no tight
the
ends
Denver
on the
practice
roster.
squad. Yeah.
Here's the tight ends we have on the roster: Luke Musgrave, Josh Wiley, Drake Dabney. That's not a room that you can say, "Oh, we don't need the ghost of Mercedes Lewis." Yeah, you probably do.
Yeah, you do.
You might need the ghost of Bobby Tunyon. You might need the ghost of Jimmy Graham, frankly. Resurrect Gronk from USAA for a few minutes.
Yes.
Oh, Broncos signed him to the active roster, so they cut him from the practice squad. Something, I don't know. Doug said, I thought Broncos picked him back up and activated him. I guess they did. Packers Doug said Brandon Bostic. This is probably where I draw the line. We probably draw the line there. But Richard Rodgers, I'd bring back the ghost of Richard Rodgers.
Just catch a Hail Mary. Simply to do
that. Clayton Tune didn't do anyone any favors. The point of Clayton Tune was not to complete passes. The point of Clayton Tune was to get sacked so that Jordan Love or Malik Willis didn't get sacked. That was the entire point. True. Matt LaFleur coming out after the game and saying if Clayton had not been able to continue playing at some point and backup Jordan Love had to go out there, he would not have attempted any passes. Love to hear that. Love to hear that that you really were not trying to win the game at all. Whatever. Ed Policy, with a vote of confidence for Matt LaFleur this week, came out singing praises for the adversity that this team has faced. I will say, I have, what was it, last week or the week before when we were talking about who would you bring back? Goody, LaFleur, both, neither. And I said that the conversation for me about LaFleur would be centered around his coaching staff and his hiring decisions. Yeah. I don't know if I ranted enough about my frustration that he doesn't insist that his position coaches put their best players on the field in the biggest moments. That still frustrates me. That's a big area where he could clean up. But the roster holes, I don't hold against Matt LaFleur. The roster holes and the thinness at key positions like defensive tackle and corner and tight end, I don't hold that against Matt LaFleur. He's not in charge of constructing the roster. Tool for this says Richard Rodgers is slow, but doggone it, he had really good hands. Is he still in the NFL? I know he was at least like 3 years ago. He was still out there. Yeah. Tyler Dershel, name dropping. I don't often do name dropping, but Dershel says Matt Schneidman and I went at it on Twitter, LOL. To which I say, who among us has not gone at it with Matt Schneidman? That's all I'm going to say. That's it.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it could be a really wild couple weeks, honestly, if they lose this game. So, it could be a really wild couple weeks.
Do you think it would be better long term for the Packers to lose this game, or worse for them? Let's say the year is 2030 and you are told that no, the year is 2030 and you are asked to reflect on this game. And the question is, was it better for the Packers that they won or lost this game?
I think it's probably better they win it. Personally.
Here's one thing that
it's a lot
really
better.
underrate.
It's a lot better to continue to have playoff wins over your rival. You know, just that confidence of like, yeah, we can beat these guys anytime. Like, we're not scared
people
of these
underrate
guys
that
at all.
Big time.
And
that win that the Bears got against the Packers in the 2024 season at the end of the year, it made me so mad the way we just clearly didn't give a crap during that game.
Yeah. Right.
And a lot of people made a lot of excuses after that game. Oh, it was a meaningless game. It was our backups, whatever. No, the Bears got the monkey off their back. They started to believe, oh, it's possible. Because you look at some other games that they should have won against us, that they lost. Not that we beat them, but that they lost because we were in their heads. We're no longer in their heads.
That game wouldn't have meant as much. It would have meant more of like building momentum than it did because Green Bay blocked that field goal. And they were like, are you kidding me? The monkey's still on our back type of thing. So if you allow this team this week to beat you in the playoffs, now there is a growing sense of the Bears saying, not just we don't need to be afraid of them anymore, blah, blah, blah. No, we're going to start to own them. And you allow them to have that confidence in this division. Where right now it's weird. This division is at a point where it feels like it's in that, what is that? The parity circle.
Headless.
We're in the parity circle right now where it's like, oh, well, Green Bay owned Detroit this year, right? Detroit could not figure it out against Minnesota, right? And then you have the Bears kind of pretty much have the Detroit monkey on their back. Like, we cannot, what do we do? We can't beat Detroit. I get it. They were kind of maybe kind of a laissez-faire performance from them of like, yeah, we need to win, but Philly's not playing their guys, so do we need to win type of thing? Don't care. I still think Detroit, that whole like, yeah, we don't have Ben Johnson, but we still beat you twice type of thing is still over them. And then, yeah, Minnesota and Green Bay splits and Chicago and Green Bay split. So there isn't really like a dominating force in this division right now. Do you want that? Do you want it back? Do you want the feeling of this is our division going into next season?
Because they could have gone easily.
They could have
5-1 after their disaster clunker against the Bears, which they were trying to win and just couldn't because they couldn't get out of their own way.
Yeah.
But like going 5-1 says something. Choosing to go 4-2 when you could go 5-1.
Yeah.
Now, as you said, yeah, they opted to go
5-2.
They opted. Yeah, maybe the thinking is they felt like they were going 5-2 either way, and that they'd rather take a shot at 5-2 with a win over the Bears.
Yep.
Even if it meant potentially 5-3 or 4-3. So in 2020 in the Big Ten, there was this circle of suck. There were these teams that all lost to each other. It included Michigan State, like Maryland. I forget who the other teams were. One interesting thing was that like none of them played Ohio State. And there was just this parity of suck in the conference that year. And like starting 2021, conference started to get a lot better. Yeah. Started to get a lot tougher for various reasons. Michigan, they got a year off from getting their butts kicked by Ohio State, got a chance to kind of get that monkey off their back. And in 2021, had a bunch of young guys who hadn't played Ohio State ever, didn't know, hey, we're supposed to lose to them, even if we think that we're really good. And they were able to pull off a well-deserved win in 2021 and flip that rivalry for the next few years. And the rest of the division, the rest of the conference got really good as well. And so here we have kind of this circle of suck in the NFC North. And like, I still really, even though I think all four teams have a winning record, which is rare, I just think that they all played a bunch of really bad teams. I don't think the NFC North is good this year in 2025. It's not a very good. The floor is nice and high. You got to, there's no 3-win teams in the division. That's great. But like, Would any of these teams scare you if you're matched up against them in the playoffs? They shouldn't.
This year?
This year. If you're Seattle or Los Angeles and you just know, hey, I'm gonna face an NFC North team in the playoffs. You're like, okay, cool. And then who do I play?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's Philly would be the same way if they had, another team from the East come in, right? It's kind of like, you worried about them? No, we're worried about who we play after them. Like,
if I was a good team,
focused on this week.
If I was the Rams or the Seahawks, I wouldn't be nervous about Philly either.
Shouldn't be. The Rams might have a little psychological thing going on, though. They had them buried in September.
That is what makes football fun. Is you do get just the really bad matchups. It's the elephant versus mouse matchup, right? And that happens all the time. So yeah. Let's see, Drew is saying, I was so mad watching the Eagles Commanders game, and the commentators were talking about how important it is to be able to play the Packers over the 49ers. I mean, you should be mad at the Packers for that one, because I think that's a kind of a good point. I think the Niners are a tougher out than the Packers. So you should just be mad at your team for not being better. Oh man, Iowa Joe. We have a real conversation. What do we all think of the Stranger Things final season? Jake, are you a Stranger Things fan?
I don't know. I don't know if I am or not, to be perfectly honest.
How much Stranger Things have you seen?
0.
Oh, okay. So
I am
a fan if you haven't seen it.
I am, but I'm not a hater though. So
the world's not divided into fans and haters. It's fans and normal people who go on with the rest of their lives without engaging.
There you go.
Fan, yeah. I like Stranger Things.
I've not seen it. I might like it. I have no idea.
I really liked the final season. I think season 4 is the best season, and season 5 is like just below it. And then I'd probably go season 1, probably season 3, then season 2. 2 and 3 are both pretty bad. 1, 4, and 5 are excellent. Tool for this found a Stranger Things NFL hat. Okay.
I need to see this.
I'm pulling it up. Where's too old for this? Every time I search for too old for this, I just go TOOO.
Yep.
Pulls up. Okay. Here's the hat. Oh, I'm not sure. The hat.
Ooh.
You know why it kind of makes sense? I think it's funny. It's got the old NFL logo. Yeah. Well, I guess that kind of fits with the 80s.
That would track, yes.
Dershel says tool for this should be a hat model. I agree, because then you can cover up the bald head. I'm a big hat junkie. I wear hats all the time. I have a stack of hats right over here, and I have a stack of hats over there, and I've got hats hanging right there, and I got a stack of hats down here. Oh, and I have a basket of hats over there. Got a lot of hats. And I have a basket of hats out in the other room. Joe says, I think overall it was good. Just didn't think they did a good enough job of finalizing everything. Too many loose threads. Here's the problem. Like, almost no show has a perfect ending. Except for like Breaking Bad. Perfect ending. But otherwise, like, it's really hard to end a good show and not have people hate the ending.
Yeah.
I think that there were certainly some flaws with the ending, but thought it was pretty good. I liked, and this is a spoiler-free comment, but I liked what they let Joyce do at the end. That it got to be Joyce. You know what I mean? You saw it. I liked that because nobody deserved that more than either Eleven or Joyce.
100% agree.
Yeah. Tool for this says, good point. Dershel says Ozark was pretty perfect. I saw the first 2. Okay, this is it. Okay. I saw the first 2 episodes of Ozark. My wife and I were watching it together. And then after the second episode, and it's like a dark show. After the second episode, she gave birth. My wife did. And like afterwards, as you're trying to like navigate the new stage of life, and like your sanity is like teetering a little bit as you're balancing lack of sleep, postpartum hormones, all these things. Like we talked about starting the show back up again. We were like, I don't know that we're in the right state of mind to be watching something as dark as this again. So would love to jump back into it at some point, and I'm sure we will, but have not gotten out of that. Iowa Joe says, obviously you never watched Psych. So is Psych the one where he's like faking it? Yep. So I saw an episode of that. The first episode.
Number 1, baby.
I saw the first episode and I could see why other people like it, and it was very much not for me. I thought this comment
number 1 on my list
was about special teams, but it's actually Stranger Things. What did you say, Jake?
It's number 1 all time for me.
Psych. Have you seen Breaking Bad?
Nope.
Yeah, Breaking Bad is excellent. Breaking Bad is a show that I have a little bit of a hard time recommending to people because the first couple of episodes are, what's the word I want to use? A little harsh. There's a lot of sex in them, actually, which is like, it doesn't really carry throughout the rest of the show, but like it's like in your face enough that some people are really going to be bothered by it, and so it's hard to recommend. And it's like, okay, I get it. I get why it bothers you for sure, but also like it's just these first couple episodes, and then that's it. So if you can't handle that, then you just can't handle it. But if you can get past that, it does stop. So
okay,
it's a really, really good show, though.
Interesting.
I was never able to get into Game of Thrones. I think I saw the whole first season, and it was it's like too much for me. Oh man,
Game of Thrones
we're
would be
really
my
getting
top 5 for sure.
Game of Thrones.
That's my top 5. So over this says favorite Psych episode. Good question.
For me,
I know everybody wants the Hangover tribute one, which is very good, but I think, man, I like the Dual Spires, the Twin Peaks tribute one. That's probably up there. The end of season 6, first episode of season 7. That's Santa Barbara Town. It's a 2-parter. That one's real. Those 2 are really good. I like that they tried the trilogy thing at the end of seasons 3, 4, and 5. Those ones are really good. Season 4 has so many bangers too. The Old West one, the Exorcist one, they all those in season 4 that slaps. I do love that. The American Duos.
Does it get more serious?
No,
because like the first episode was like kind of almost like slapstick.
It's
corny.
not. It doesn't get serious that much.
Okay,
it does not. Oh yes, of course. I've seen the movies.
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 My they just meant the movies.
My college house.
Have you been to the movies?
Have you seen? Yeah, Tim Curry in the American Duos episodes, elite.
Tim Curry, I love Tim Curry.
He's in the season, the first episode of season 2. He is phenomenal in that. Yeah, it's the spelling bee one's good too. Tealfus put that in the comments. That one's fantastic too. Yeah, you really can't go wrong if you like that type of show. There's all the tribute stuff that they do to certain things, all the 80s, stuff that stays going throughout the show. And then the movies, we had a watch party, the first one that came out in my college house, which was fun. We cut up a few pineapples. It was a good time. So
Okay, we had some Rashan Gary chatter here that I thought was fun. So, Drew, would you guys trade Rashan Gary given our depth at the position? Packer Doug always liked Gary. See my avatar. Yep, I see the Rashan Gary with a stogie. Love that. I think his wheels are shot. No trade value. Gary's spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Yeah, I can't imagine he has a lot of trade value, especially with that contract. I don't think people would just want to pay him that contract, frankly. Where are you, Jake? On because here I'm gonna make a prediction.
Okay.
In like maybe like 2 or 3 days after we get eliminated from the playoffs, whenever that is, some beat writer is gonna come out.
Not getting eliminated.
And reveal
going all the way.
What do you mean? Fine. After the Super Bowl, like 2 days after the Super Bowl, some beat writer is gonna come out and reveal Rashan Gary had a gnarly hangnail on his big toe the whole season that he played through. And that's why he was a hero for even being on the field. Guarantee it. This is what they do every
gentleman and a
year.
Scholar. Okay.
You get, you take whoever underperformed the most in a season, and at the end of the year, he tells the beat writer, "Oh, actually, I was hurt all year." Oh, man. Oh, well. All right, we take back everything we said about him. He's actually elite. And then the very next year, he has the exact same performance. So it's 2 years in a row. This, and it's like, yeah. So is that bone still broken, or
yes,
or what?
Yes.
Tool for this says Gary from SpongeBob is faster than Rashan Gary.
Gentleman and a Scholar.
That's
the
pretty
ACL thing. I don't think he's just never been the same. Period. And it do.
I mean,
like
he
that.
gives up on a lot of plays. He gives up
like
on a lot
sometimes.
of plays.
Well, he saw Micah trying too hard, and look, that got him. And he's like, "Well, I can't do that. I simply can't."
See,
do
he's
that,
learning.
Man.
He's learning.
He's like, "I can't do that. I already had this once."
Spoiler alert: Rashan Gary not on my All-Pro list. On my All-Pro ballot,
Wow.
if you can believe it.
There was some speculation. The sources were leaking. JJ potentially put Rashan Gary into his All-Pro list. That wasn't true.
I think everybody did.
That wasn't true. That was
kind of want to do.
That
our
was all
All-Pro.
the smoke. They were trying to get.
All-Pro.
It was draft rumors. Classic.
Brian Maffey's favorite. I kind of want to do. Our All-Pro ballot.
That is fine. I'm good with that.
You want to do quarterback first?
Yeah, let's. Shall we?
Okay. So here's how I did it. I did first team, second team, and then I have a third name of these positions that I just called honorable mention.
Fair.
How many names do you have for each position?
2 to 3. There's some where I just put 2. There's some where I have 3 or 4 guys that I wanted to shout out. It just depends. I honestly really wish we would start with punter, but we'll get there. I think we'll get there. Did you do punter?
I'm gonna tell you, I didn't do kicker, punter, kick returner, punt returner,
What?
Specialist, or long snapper, because to do those, you have to watch more teams than I watched, and I'm not willing to sit there and watch the special teams for some teams I don't care about.
I'll tell you, I cheated for punter.
Did you?
Yeah, I looked at punter EPA generated and took the top 2.
That's pretty good.
So,
well,
took the top 2.
Okay, let me make some predictions. Okay, was Corey Bojorquez in there?
He was not in the top 2. Top 2
J.K.
are
Scott in there.
The top 2 are on playoff teams.
I see. I don't even know who the punters are for most of the NFL teams. There was a time when I definitely could have told you 25 starting punters.
Could have loved this. But my first team All-Pro punter, our king, Mr. Dan Wheeland.
Nice.
Second team All-Pro punter, Michael Dixon, Seattle Seahawks. So there you go.
Nice.
Easy peasy. Okay.
Nice.
Very easy. Very took 2 seconds. I saw someone post that and I'm like, oh, perfect. Okay, done.
Oh, I know who posted it.
Not doing any more.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I got tagged in that.
Did you? Yeah, I was
think I
like,
did.
oh well, if we do kicker or punter, like, well, this is easy. I'm done with that.
I should have just
now.
done that. I don't know why I didn't.
I'm done with that.
I'm just
now.
not creative enough. Tool for this says Ireland has no kings. All right.
I didn't know that.
So how about we do this? How about I'll say the position, and then we will alternate who says a name. So like for the first position, like I'll do first team, you'll do second team. First, like I'll do first team first, you'll do second team first.
Did you want the rest of my lovely specialists?
Your punters?
My kickers and returners?
Sure. Get all your specialists out of the way.
All right.
I will tell you, I only put one fullback on here because I looked at the fullbacks and I concluded there was only one fullback worthy of being recognized at all, and the other 4 fullbacks who are in the NFL don't deserve any recognition.
I just did a flex position. I didn't even do fullback. Probably should have. But kickers, Aubrey was my first team All-Pro, and then Will Reichard from Minnesota is my second team All-Pro. As far as returners go, shout out Illinois wide receiver Isaiah Williams is my first team All-Pro returner. Second team All-Pro returner is Chimere DK, rookie, Tennessee Titans. So there you go. Those are your specialists All-Pros.
Love it.
Packers are already on the board. We'd love to see it. How much more will they be on the board? Stick around and find out. All right, we going QB?
Yeah, hold on a second.
JJ has found another stat quick.
Something Here we go.
He doesn't.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I don't know.
What you got? What's happening?
I don't want to say. It makes me mad.
Okay.
Can you talk for 1 second? Just talk for a second while I look at this and make sure that I have it straight.
All right. Let's look at some stuff here while he takes a peek. Yeah, Packer Doug says he's talking to Drew, says always liked Gary. I think the wheels are shot. He doesn't have trade value. It's Gary's spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. I don't know. Sometimes the spirit tailed off a little bit as well. But yeah, I don't think they're going to get anything for him, most likely. But yeah, with him, potentially him and Kingsley on the way out, it kind of opens the door if Green Bay wants to add somebody to that room as far as like.
I will say Kingsley leaving doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think you need to keep Kingsley.
If you can, you should. If you cannot, well, that's what draft's for. Add to the room. You could get a Van Ness backup, right? That the bigger body type, and then you have kind of the Sorrell kind of fits in that Kingsley thing where it's like he's a little bit in between those two roles of like, yeah, he's not the smallest, right? Like the Parsons, like the Olivers. He's not at the Van Ness size. So you kind of have a good spread of roles in there. So, and Brenton Cox is obviously still there too. Most likely.
Hacker Doug says, DK, hope I didn't honk you off, JJ. I don't understand, and I will not respond.
Whoa. All right. Now all right, chat. Get the jokes out about Brenton Cox. Just go ahead. Get those going. Have fun.
All right, first team quarterback. I have Matt Stafford.
Yes. Agreed. First team.
All right, who's your second team QB?
My second team QB was that. This was difficult. This was the difficult one of like, who do I put here? If he played more, Brock Purdy has an argument here. If he played more this year, but I took the easy way out. I just put Drake May. I slotted him in there as the 2.
I also went Drake May, and this was most positions, actually every position except for fullback. I did have a honorable mention. So my honorable mention actually was Jordan Love.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's very fair.
I thought he was pretty clearly the third best quarterback in the NFL this year. There were other guys who had really good years. I think Sam Darnold was kind of worthy of consideration, but
Yeah.
I really couldn't put him above Jordan Love.
Yeah, the turnovers, I think, really hurt Darnold's chances of getting into the All-Pro discussion. So,
Tool for this is I don't want JJ going anywhere. I agree. I don't want to go anywhere.
Yeah, me either.
I'm
me
here.
Either.
I'm here.
Yes.
Okay, running back. Who is your first team running back? I think we're going to probably disagree. Eh?
I think so. My first team running back is James Cook for the Buffalo Bills.
I'm not sure if I have any Bills on here, so
that is my only
team,
Buffalo Bill. That is my only.
Buffalo. My first team running back was Devin Achane.
Okay, I like it. Jamal Charles 2.0, Mr. Devon.
My second team running back was Jonathan Taylor.
That's who I had in there initially. But I put Bijan in there at the number 2 spot.
Bijan was my honorable mention.
I have JT and Achane both sitting there underneath my first and second team, and I flip-flop those. Maybe not Achane as much, but I flip-flop JT and Bijan probably 3-4 times as I was putting this together. It was hard to do. So you did a fullback. I did a flex. We could kind of play off that probably at the same juncture. But who's your fullback? I want to know.
Yeah, so
who is it?
I went Patrick Ricard from the Ravens. I thought that he was kind of the clear and obvious only fullback worthy of real consideration. Reggie Gilliam for the Bills has some nice numbers on PFF, I guess, but he just, despite the fact that he played a similar amount of snaps to Ricard, I felt that he had a lot smaller impact on the Bills' success compared to, or what success they did have compared to the impact that Ricard had on the Ravens. So he was kind of the clear and obvious choice for me. Another guy I at least took note of was Hunter Lupke.
Yes.
Former North Dakota State Bison. Played for Dallas. He only logged 122 snaps. But he had a pretty good year. He was kind of the only guy at fullback who made any contributions as a receiver, which I thought was kind of interesting. There were a couple of guys, Adam Prentice and Kyle Juszczyk, who were really good pass blockers. But I was not remotely impressed at all with either what I saw or what PFF said about their run blocking. And for a fullback, I want you to run block.
For sure.
So there's that.
Yeah.
All right, give me your all-purpose.
So yeah, the all-purpose one, it was receiver, running back. I put McCaffrey in here just simply because, again, the guy was essentially their best receiver this year, on top of carrying a massive load at the running back position. Just really, I was rooting for him to get to the Roger Craig number of 1K, which they would have probably renamed the McCaffrey number because he would have done it twice. But he finished 76 yards away from 1,000, which would have been really sick to see. I put him there, and then my other flex player is the receiver who I put in the honorable mentions of the All-Pros, and that was Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, so Amon-Ra was a tricky one for me and is worthy of a debate. Let's do tight end though. Let's get tight end out of the way. So
easy enough.
I think you're going. No, I'm going first on this one.
Yeah.
So I had George Kittle as my first team tight end.
Yeah. No arguments. No arguments here. He was my second teamer. And even with missing as many games as he did, absolute beast.
Talking about missing games, my second team tight end was Tucker Kraft. If he had finished the year out,
I think you're right.
I feel very strongly he would have been my first team.
Yeah.
All-Pro tight end. He was on fire to start the year.
He was awesome.
He didn't even have any bad weeks either. It was just that, he exploded his leg and couldn't play anymore.
Yeah, some of the weeks that he wasn't, dominating as a receiver, it was like, yeah, no, we need you as sixth lineman, buddy. Like, we need you here today. Sorry. We'll not be catching the football very much.
And technically sixth lineman, but in terms of how well he's playing, he was more like the third lineman.
Yeah, there is that. Yes. I would say that definitely puts him in a different tier. Can I just want to shout one guy out before I make this list. He didn't have this big year as a receiver. And again, he wasn't really in consideration, but I feel like this is the only place we would ever shout him out at this point. The Bills ran the ball really, really well this year. Obviously, James Cook, my first team All-Pro.
Hey, good on them for doing something good this year.
Yeah, and so the Dalton Kincaid got hurt. He's obviously a receiver. He's not really, he doesn't even get snaps in line, right? They take him off the field. Knox was hurt. I want to shout Jackson Hawes out, the rookie from Georgia Tech, who caught some touchdowns this year, but was also a staunch blocker in both phases this year for that Bills offense. Really, really impressed with what he did as a rookie. And we're on watch. Can't wait to see how he does going forward. And then obviously my first team All-Pro is Trey McBride. Setting some records on this.
He was your first team All-Pro at tight end?
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't have Kittle on there then?
I had Kittle second team.
So I had Kittle first, Kraft second.
Yep.
And then honorable mention Kyle Pitts just had an absolutely crazy good year. I can't consider Trey McBride a tight end.
But you consider Kyle Pitts one?
Kyle Pitts can block. Trey McBride can't.
You watched? You can confirm that? Or did you look at PFF?
Well, I didn't watch a lot of them this year. I leaned heavily on PFF for that one, but I saw him play a little bit.
Okay.
I did have Trey McBride on here. So this is after we had talked last week, and I had decided I just can't have him on here at tight end. You either convinced me or said something that made me think about just moving him on my list over to receiver, which is what I did. So I did put him on here at receiver. So I feel like receiver is a kind of a tricky one to cover here because there's so many names. How many wide receiver starting spots did you have on?
3.
Here? You had 3 starting wide receivers?
I did.
So that means a minimum of 6 receivers, and I did honorable mention for all 3 spots too. So I have 9 receivers to talk about.
Okay.
So I'm a little bit kind of at a loss as how to talk about this. I wonder if we had the same top 2.
This is a really good one because honestly, if they threw to him all year, Michael Wilson would 100% be on here. Fantastic season from him. It's an outrageous stretch of football for him, and I'm glad that someone brought him up in the comments. It's really good. Big fan of that.
Because he went to Stanford, right?
He did. Yes.
I absolutely loved him at Stanford. I was very, very crushed we didn't draft him because to me he felt like a prototypical Packers later round receiver. So I was crushed we didn't go after that.
Yeah, Senior Bowl, big body. It definitely fits the archetype.
So I wonder if we have the same top 2 receivers because in my mind there's a gap after the top 2 receivers.
There is.
Okay, so obviously it's Puka and JSN. Yes. In that order.
Absolutely. Yeah.
In that order.
Yeah. Yes.
And I obviously the real thinking started after that.
I
And
think so.
at wide receiver 3, I did go Amon-Ra, but I had a very tough decision to make here because for only playing not quite half the year, Christian Watson on a per snap basis outperformed Amon-Ra in every category. And so I was really tempted to go Watson over Amon-Ra for that reason. Decided, hey, Amon-Ra played the whole year. I'm going to give him that credit for it. And I'm just going to say, like, hey, Christian, if you want the accolades and the respect, then just do it again next year, right? Also, like, Amon-Ra can do a little more on the field.
Yeah.
But from a stats standpoint, Watson was on track to outpace Amon-Ra in every stat. So Watson was on my second team for that. Probably not going to find a lot of guys who come in more than halfway through the season and just play kind of the back stretch of the year and still make a second team all-pro list. And the way that Christian has played has been kind of out of his mind. So the other 2 second team receivers that I had were Trey McBride and Ja'Marr Chase. And I didn't really have those guys necessarily in an order, except that Watson and McBride were both behind Chase. I wanted to give Chase kind of the nod.
Yeah.
So who, after your top 2 receivers, do you want to go your next 4?
Yeah, let's do that. So yeah, Ja'Marr Chase did make second team for me. Like to point that out. Also had Nico Collins there.
Nico was on my
good season mention for him. I have George Pickens as my third first team player.
Yep.
Phenomenal.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Season.
Let me ask you a question. If you had Trey McBride as a wide receiver, would Pickens or McBride have been higher at wide receiver if you classified McBride as a receiver?
I guess McBride would be higher, but I would never classify him as that. So, but yes, he would probably be.
But as players, and like the accolades that we're handing out here, because that's all the All-Pro is just right. Accolades. We're putting these players basically in the same spots as each other, with the exception of Watson. So you had as your second team. Wait a minute, who was your wide receiver 3? Was it Amon-Ra?
Pickens.
Oh, Pickens was wide receiver 3 for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Then Chase and Collins
are
on the second team.
Chase Collins. Yep.
And then my 6th spot was very difficult. Probably the 2.5 yard per route run, 1,200 yard season for Zay Flowers is kind of wild. It kind of continues to fly under the radar. He might be the worst.
I thought about Zay.
I think he's the worst receiver to have 1,000 yards at every season that there is in the league at this point, which again, that's, hey, at least you can at least say you're getting there. One more honorable mention. Truly, if he wasn't hurt and wasn't in and out of the lineup, pretty sure Drake London makes this list.
Yeah. I thought about Drake as well.
I
thought about him as well.
Yeah, he did not stay healthy enough to do that. I thought about Diggs as well. Per snap basis,
Diggs made my honorable mention.
Yeah, but I'm gonna give this guy who I don't know how many people would even give this guy a second team All Pro. Now I can't wait to find out if they do or not.
Wan'Dale Robinson.
He might even be potentially in comeback player of the year conversations. I don't know how, because that award's weird, but after all the concussions last season and quarterback nonsense all season long and helping catch fire at the end of the season, I'm going Chris Olave as my final guy on the second team. So
that's pretty good. Pretty good.
Again, a lot of options. Once you get off those top 2, there's a lot of options you can look at for this. And then, as I said, for those who, if you missed it, Amon-Ra St. Brown was my second team flex, All Pro after McCaffrey.
So up next we have left tackle.
Did you have any right tackles?
Well, okay,
I
yeah,
didn't.
there was a humongous drop off from left tackle to right tackle. Humongous.
I put 4 left tackles on here. I didn't even care.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to.
I just going through it all this year of like, all right, who would make my teams here? Yeah, okay, blah blah blah. Go back and forth on all of it and go. Yeah, pretty much you could put 4 left tackles on here and it would be just fine. So I did that. Probably makes some Lions fans mad because their guy
Penne was my
play.
first team right tackle.
He was okay. If I was required to put right tackle on there, he would be on there. But nobody said anything about it to me. I just have tackles.
I did left tackle. I had Tristan Wirfs and Trent Williams with Garrett Bowles as honorable mention.
Okay.
Who were your left tackles?
The 2 tackles I put on the left were left tackles Trent Williams and Garrett Bowles, first and second.
Okay.
And then on the other side, since I did all left tackles, might as well say I have Laramie Tunsil as one of the first teamers, and then Wirfs is my second teamer. With Bowles.
Would have been nice to be able to draft Laramie Tunsil or put him on my thing. That would have been nice.
Yes.
At right tackle, so I had Penei Sewell and Colton McKivitz, and honorable mention Zach Tom.
Zach Tom just keeps chugging along.
Keeps chugging along. All right, left guard. Who was your first team left guard?
First team left guard, unfortunately, is Joe Tooney.
I had him on.
Goodness sakes, man. How many teams is he going to go to and change things?
I think that makes him the only Bear on here for me.
Yeah.
So I had him at honorable mention.
Yes, he is my Chicago Bear on this.
My first team left guard was Quentin Nelson.
Yep, that's fair. Yeah.
And second team left guard was Peter Skoronski.
Okay.
Another guy I'm mad that we didn't get.
Okay. So this worked out very nicely. My second team is Quentin Nelson. My honorable mention is Peter Skoronski. Heck of a season.
All right. Nice.
Again, another guy that, nobody talks about how good he's been this year because he's playing for the Titans and because pretty much everybody else around him has been struggling. Dan Moore is struggling at left tackle. Wow, who could have foreseen that? J.C. Latham had, his ups and downs as a rookie. That's pretty much continued in his second year. So, yeah, Skoronski, heck of a season. Dershel Quinn Miners is right guard, and I imagine we're going to get there. I imagine we will.
I imagine we will
get there.
So at center, to me, I felt like this was very clear cut and obvious who the 3 centers were to include, which means we're going to not see eye to eye on any of them. You're going to have 3 totally different centers for me since I felt like it was so obvious. We basically went
maybe
kind of 3 for 3 on left guard, but maybe. We'll see with center.
So
who was your first team center?
First team center, Sean Ryan. Just an absolute
second team center,
absolute absolute
third
force.
Team center, Jacob Monk,
absolute force. Week 18, he makes it. I love that Joe's on that page as well. No, for me, I had to go look at some of this because I'm like, all right, how well, again, PFF has their numbers. How well are these guys playing? And because I love watching Devon Achane anyway, I said, well, this is a double. I could do this. No problem. And he ends up as my first. Aaron Brewer is my first team All-Pro center for the Miami Dolphins.
I mean, he's a road grader at center.
Dude was a force this year. And
he wasn't bad in pass pro.
No, he was not bad.
I felt like there were some stunts he was really struggling to pick up when I did watch him.
Yeah. Because of what he does for, like, again, his play this year is probably one of the bigger reasons why McDaniel and the staff is sticking around. Like, I don't think everything runs as well as it does without his play this year, period.
So
I'm really pleased.
We have Aaron Brewer to be mad at that we're not getting McDaniel as
That's
OC
probably right, yes. Along with Achan, of course. But Brewer's probably one of those reasons.
Let's be real. They're not firing Steno. They're running it back. They were so close this year. They were so close. I'm telling you.
What if Miami goes after Harbaugh, though?
Goody's strategy this year, right? Assume 0 injuries. It was a brilliant plan. It almost worked to perfection. Just got the tiniest
guys,
bit.
What do you want us to do? We got hurt. What do you want us to do?
You can't have backups at every position. All right. Sometimes you just got to roll the dice and pray for no injuries.
Guys, there's only 53 guys on the roster. Okay. How do you expect me to do this?
All right. My first team center was Creed Humphrey.
Yeah. He's my second for sure. And
my second team center was big draft crush of mine, Tanner Bortolini.
Oh, sure.
How many times did I mock draft him? 100?
Too many. And when you like a Big Ten guy in that 3rd, 4th round area, you're not getting him. That much is clear. Shout out Ty Robinson. So
yep.
That's how that goes. Yeah. Really sick.
Who is your second team center?
Humphrey. Humphrey was.
Okay. And then your honorable mention center?
Oh, I didn't really have any honorable mentions for this one. You mentioned Bortolini. He had another guy who had a heck of a year. Clearing pass for Jonathan Taylor, who, yeah, I mean, this was the vision, I think, with a player like Bortolini, is you get an athlete like that who has the pedigree from Wisconsin to come in and eventually, right? And honestly, it probably happened faster than even I was expecting it to. Of just, yeah, that's his job. There's no question anymore about any of that. I would have brought up Linderbaum, but then I watched the game on Sunday night where he just got pushed around, and that was unfortunate. Don't want him anymore. Don't want him.
Can I
No,
tell
thank
you?
you.
Can I tell you?
No,
I took Linderbaum off my All-Pro after that game. I did.
He got pushed around, man. He had
been honorable mention, and he got demoted.
That is rough. So
I finished up my honorable mention center that I replaced him with was Ryan Kelly, who had to work with carousel of special needs quarterbacks and still managed to only allow 4 pressures credited to him by PFF and 1 penalty on the year, which nobody had 1 penalty at center this year. He also, one thing I liked about him in particular was, even though I didn't think he was as dominant of a road grader as some of the other top centers in the NFL, thought he was a better pass protector than everybody except for Creed Humphrey. So
yeah,
just a well-rounded guy. I like that.
Yeah, I think if McCoy played more games, he'd probably be in this conversation. I'll shout out one guy, Ryan Newsiel from Atlanta, who is stepping into some big shoes with Dahlman leaving. Acquitted himself pretty well this season, at least in terms of keeping that run game look really good in Atlanta, with their two-headed monster.
A lot of centers are.
Yeah,
a lot of centers are.
And so, big shout out to him, honestly, for filling some pretty big shoes, because Dahlman had another good season of his own in Chicago, but that's a big deal. Switching centers like that, Atlanta took a gamble, and it, for the most part, paid off. You could, I think you look to, again, pass pro, where he's, again, when he's left on the island, right, he's still a smaller guy, right? Like Dahlman was. They're the same thing. They're hovering around that 300 number, and there are going to just be points where guys are bigger than you, and if you're not kind of elite in terms of, one, being aware of everything's going on, right? Being the quarterback of the offensive line, and then 2, if your hands aren't super quick, and again being smaller, leverage can do you so good, only so good for against some of these 320 pound guys. So, a couple matchups against Tampa Bay, I thought, even against New Orleans, I thought there was some of that even this week too. But big shout out to him for coming in and filling some shoes. So we got some bright cards.
Yeah.
Which
man. So my first team right guard was Quinn Miners.
Stud.
Who's yours?
Quinn Miners.
Who's your second team?
This was tricky. There were 3 names that I considered for this, and I still don't know if I picked correctly, honestly. But I'm gonna go with Chris Lidstrom, who
that was my second name as well.
Just
we're 2 for 2.
I think the support that he provided for pretty much the right tackle nonsense that went on in Atlanta this year, and then also helping New Zealand was excellent. He has probably lived up to his billing and much more for being what I think the 14th, 16th, something like that overall pick in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
It's never exciting. It's never cool. It's not flashy to go get the guard in the first round. And man, has he been outstanding for several seasons now. So he
we're 2 for 2.
edged out Kevin Dotson, who was in that discussion. And then I also had Jonah Jackson in that discussion as well, but a little less so than the rest.
And your my screen is glitching.
Is it?
My honorable mention was Patriots right guard Mike Onwenu.
Yep, Onwenu had a nice season too.
I just blanked. Did you say Kevin Dotson was your honorable mention?
Yes, he was the next guy on the list for me.
Yeah, I definitely thought about it. It was kind of a toss up between him and Mike, and
tough.
I went with Mike due to number 1 playing about 250 more snaps this year than Kevin, and being a better pass blocker.
Yeah, all fair.
All right, so we already did right tackle. So at edge, did you have I just went edge because of
I just pretty much put
obvious reasons.
Edge, because they're not all gonna be the same body type.
So who's your first team?
My first team at both spots.
Just your first.
First team at both spots on the defensive line at defensive end edge, whatever you want to call it. I have Myles Garrett and I have Will Anderson. That's the first 2.
So I had Myles Garrett and Will Anderson were both in my top 3, but I put Micah Parsons ahead of Will Anderson.
It's fair.
It was close. It was a toss up. Not a toss up, but close to toss up.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett was just clear and obvious. Like, hey, sack leader, all-time sack leader. You got to do it.
Yeah.
I was
just
excited.
That stretch of play mid-season was outrageous. When he just hit that groove of like, nope, no one's gonna stop me.
And then that second stretch that he hit where he couldn't get the sacks was like, it made it even more exciting, but also I was like freaking out every week.
Yeah, it was insane.
The other guy in my top 4 was Jared Verse.
Okay.
And then I had honorable mention Josh Hines Allen and Aiden Hutchinson.
Okay. So I have Micah in the second team. I also have Daniil Hunter in the second team. Sack scorer,
still chugging,
high quality pressures. Just outrageous season for them. So both Texans guys made my all pro team, and then the 2 others that I had as honorable mentions, Hutch was one of them, and then a little bit one trick, and that's why he stayed on the honorable mentions. But Nick Bonito still is as difficult as it is to block because of the
wicked,
speed and explosiveness. So he is still somebody who is definitely worth mentioning there. Really quick, the pass rush snaps per high quality sack, your leaders in this metric that Brandon Thorne does, Parsons was 1, just under 34 snaps per high quality sack. Garrett is second at 34.2. Chase Young, 38.6. Pass rush
renaissance
snaps
year for Chase.
per high quality sack. And then Daniil Hunter's next. Josh Sweat ended up 5th on this list. Benito 6th, and then Hutchinson 7th. And I feel like the difference with me is I think there was like havoc rate leaders, and Brandon Thorne posted this, and I didn't bookmark it because I'm a dummy. That Anderson was running away with. I think that's what it was. He was running away with that. So like you have, the true pass rusher, right? Everybody's going to run near Hunter's direction, but Will Anderson's doing both. Again, just outstanding year. It is interesting, right? Do you remember any of that discourse? Because we were bored during the draft cycle of like, is Anderson going to be more than an 8-sack guy? Is he going to be any more than that? It's like, okay. Sounds like we're bored. Please move on.
Because I was like a bit of a Will Anderson doubter, like just enough that I was just glad that we weren't the team sitting there trying to make the decision, right?
That's fair.
That he wasn't like a slam dunk surefire can't miss, but that like kind of in a way that like what year was it? In the 21 draft, no, the 22 draft. That's when you had Trayvon Walker went number 1.
Walker, Hutch, Tibbs.
Yeah, and it was kind of like Aiden Hutchinson kind of felt like the can't miss surefire who like should have gone number 1.
Yeah.
And like obviously hindsight, like everybody knows obviously he should have gone number 1. I was kind of like that year I was Hutchinson and then Thibodeau. And
yeah.
And like, not that I disliked Trayvon, but just he felt more in the like 9 to 12 range to me, where Lukas Van Ness and Rashan Gary went of like really traitsy, and are you going to hit on him?
With that pick, Balky was looking for the next Alden Smith. That's what he was trying to do there. So like I understood because it's Balky. I was like, yeah, okay. He's looking for the big that could move like that and hope that you reach a technical type of ceiling where it was like, no, Hutch and what I thought Tibbs were like kind of way more ready-made than Walker was. But again, that's kind of what happens with some of this. Like some GMs want the bigs who are athletic, and they want, guys to the coaching staff and the position coaches to kind of, hey, figure this out. He has this insane athletic floor. Let's push the ceiling with the details type of thing.
Well, also every NFL team is like there, and every coach really, they like have way too lofty of an opinion of their own developmental skills. They're like, oh, I can get the most out of him. Like I can capitalize on his potential. It's like you probably can't. Like statistically speaking, you probably can't. I do think, Jake, we should talk to the chat for a minute here because they are okay. They got a couple of conversations going on here. One,
let's do it.
Packer Doug says we're as strong and healed as we can possibly be without Micah and Kraft
and Wyatt.
I'm gonna say Wyatt, right?
Yeah,
Wyatt.
Wyatt's got to be on this list.
Let me, Jake. I want you to draft from Micah, Wyatt, and Kraft. Draft the order if you could get those guys back from IR. Let's say this. Dude. Let's say that I was giving you 3 cards, and one of them said you have an 80% chance of getting this player back from IR. One of them said you have a 40% chance of getting this player back from IR, and the third said you have a 15% chance of getting this player back from IR. This week, right?
Yeah.
Which name do you write on which card?
Wait, one more time. Sorry, I had to
So 80%, 40%, and 15%. Those are the chances that you'll be able to get these players back from IR.
80, 40, and 15. Okay.
And the the players you're going to write on those, I assume there's not anybody else you'd want to write on there. It's Micah, Kraft, and Wyatt.
Yeah, to return this year for sure.
Yeah. So what order do you?
No, you're telling me I can't put Jordan Riley on here? How dare you? How dare you? I mean, Micah's
Jordan Riley played admirably for the week and a half that he was here.
He did. No, that is true. Man, Micah's got to be 80, and JJ, I think you might put Wyatt 80 because of the problem and the lack of depth at defensive tackle. And I think that's totally understandable. 100%.
I think I would put Wyatt on 40.
You would?
Micah,
okay.
80.
Okay.
Wyatt 40.
I think simply because when Mike is on the field, I am now, JJ, envisioning your brainchild coming true of like, oh my gosh, LVN's one-on-one. He can just run guys over because everybody's focused on one. And that to me just
we're no longer at the point
7-11. Everything's
where
open,
I'm
man. Everything's
wish
open,
casting about guys elevating.
Yeah.
That's for August and September. That's not for January.
I know. But I'm just saying, like, seeing him against Baltimore, just it fires the imagination of like, all right, if these two could play for a full season together, where we kind of already had the Gary discussion of like, it's probably going to be a move on one way or another because you want LVN starting. And yeah, I'd put Wyatt at 40 just because of the necessity. Although Kraft at 15 feels just simply because of adding him to the run game equation might make things a little bit better. And then having him tied, check down tied to 7-step drop passing will make it that much more effective. And that's tough to trade off that for healthy defensive tackle, but it's probably necessary.
Isn't it a little bit weird though that you can make a very compelling case for all three of those guys to be number 2 on that list?
Yeah.
Even though you and I were unanimous on the order being Parsons, Wyatt, Kraft, you can make a defensible case for all three of them to be number 2. I don't think you can make a defensible case for Kraft to be number 1, but number 2 or number 3.
Maybe if you're like, hey, let's just win some shootouts, man.
I mean, I think winning a shootout against the Bears is not a bad strategy. Like,
right.
They have a horrific defense.
Would you rather have
I don't trust our offense at all right now.
No, that's fair. Would you rather have, so say you were playing Seattle, would you rather have Kraft in that game or Wyatt in that game?
Oh,
like back for one.
Like definitely Kraft because Seattle is so one-dimensional.
Yeah, they don't run it that well
on offense, and then also they can get the ball out so quick. Like I don't really care about pass rush, per se. Like, not that I don't care at all, but like,
and that's the tricky bit.
The biggest thing is you got to keep up with them on offense.
Yeah, that's the tricky bit about this NFC because it's like, okay, none of these teams are like really that complete, right? Or they,
but also like Seattle's the only offense that scares you that much. Even though the Rams' offense is really good, Seattle's offense is the only offense that's like, you're going to have to put up 40 to hang with them.
Yeah, I think it's probably because the Rams run it so well that they shrink games more, and it's more like, okay, you just have to have more valuable possessions. Whereas, Seattle game, you're kind of maybe again hoping, right? Hope is necessarily not necessarily a strategy, but you're hoping you might get that extra possession or two because Darnold's going to give you one, right? Going to give you one or two chances. Not unlike Bo Nix gave them, right? In the Denver game.
Xavier McKinney can Xavier McKinney or Edgerrin Cooper or Quay Walker can get it done for us.
Get hands on ball.
Hey, maybe Micah can get an interception for us.
McKinney's having the season that Quay had 2 years ago. 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, 2 years ago.
In what way?
Quay got his hands on so many footballs. I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
and he just
That was
didn't catch any of them. I think it was 2. I want to say it was 2 years ago.
I kind of feel like this was
But
2020. This was 2020 2, I think.
Rookie year.
Because it was, I think it was because
Okay. It was
I'm
one of the years.
Stokes.
It was that year or the year after where he got his hands on like 7 or 8 passes. And
I'm thinking of Savage. In 22, it was Savage.
Oh,
so 23,
Savage.
It was Quay, I think.
Okay. I think it was 23 because I vaguely remember that Atlanta game early in the season where he got his hands on, I think maybe 2
Well, that
of
was
them.
23.
Yeah. I think that. So, yeah. That feels like McKinney this year, where McKinney's been in the right spot so much to make all these plays and just has not come up with the ball. And that is frustrating. Because God, he's been really good. And it's just because he's not converting the picks that everybody looks at and goes, "Oh, he stinks this year." It's like, not really. No, he's pretty much shut every window you wanted it to.
Sure. It feels like he's not making the same impact on the game as he was a year ago.
Right.
And I think that is for 2 reasons. One is he's having to cover up for so many more mistakes from other players this year. He's doing so much mop-up duty. So there's a lot of time where the casual observer is pissed at Xavier watching him play because it's like, oh, there goes a guy streaking down the field. Oh, and Xavier's chugging after him. It's like, okay, he came screaming from across the other side of the field where he was covering somebody else because Ding Dong over here like just turned around and just never even ran with the guy. And so like, hey, McKinney comes in and makes the touchdown saving tackle that matters. And you're like, well, you got let him get 22 yards. It's like, no, nope. That was Ding Dong over there. It wasn't Xavier.
Yeah, it's for as good as Evan Williams has been near the box this season, when he is back past 10, 12 yards, there have been some shaky moments. And that's the type of thing where it's, if McKinney, which I'm assuming we'll get there, but has still been, again, from an EPA standpoint, of course, it's not going to be measured the same because he last year he picked off 7 or 8 passes. So,
and just now you said, "I'm sure we'll get there." What are you referring to when you said, "I'm sure we'll get there"?
Oh, all pros.
Do you want to answer a couple more questions before we hop back on that?
Yeah, I started this one a little ways back.
Yeah.
Is Packer Doug's asking how do you feel about Loveland for the Bears?
I mean, I'll just let you take this one. Like, I'll give him a thumbs up. He's good.
Packer Doug,
I'll
hey,
let you take that one.
Hey, I got a link for you, brother. You follow me on Twitter at Jake NFL Draft. Go to my YouTube. Go to the draft.
The video of him crying on draft day when the Bears took him.
There was I have to put this together.
12 straight minutes.
I have to put this together of a tragedy in 3 acts because I believe the night before, I was doing a mock with one of my buddies in the draft space. And
What
he was like,
3 act?
The Bears.
The 3rd act is he catches the Packers playoff eliminating touchdown catch. That would be.
We may have to adjust it.
It was 3 acts.
We may have to adjust it. But it was kind of like, oh, the Bears are going to get a good offensive player that stinks, and then it was kind of like, well, the Bears, they might not take Warren, they could take Loveland, and that sinking feeling in my mind of like, oh yeah, that is a possibility, isn't it? And then draft day comes around and they do it. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be really good. He's their Laporta, essentially, with, again, the potential to be able to be a factor in both parts of the game, which is such a dangerous thing. I think if you're worried about anything, it's Loveland becoming their Laporta and Luther Burden becoming their Amon-Ra St. Brown at this point. So, yeah, I mean, Drew said honorable mention Alec Pierce.
This says Loveland is what Musgrave should be. In what world?
No.
In what world?
No. Gesicki is what you hope Musgrave could be, okay?
Let me translate this.
We had this discussion.
This is like Micah Parsons is what Jonathan Ford should be.
Sick. I love that.
Tool for this says, does, oh, sorry, you had an Alec Pierce thing here. Do your Alec Pierce thing.
Yeah, Drew put honorable mention Alec Pierce for receivers, which I think is a good one. He had a heck of a fourth season. I think the Colts should be moving on from Pittman, in all honesty, to make sure they have room to keep Pierce. Which is, they're gonna have to make some tough calls because they've got a lot on the books now with Sauce and all that, and figuring out what to do at QB. So, yeah, probably gonna have to.
All right. To open this, do any of our corners have picks this year, or is it only our safeties?
I think Nixon does, right?
No.
He doesn't?
Nope. 0 interceptions by corners this year.
God sakes, man.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong about that. Hold on. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Sorry. Yes, Nixon has 1. Nixon has 1.
Oh, he picked off the Bear game. Yeah, duh.
Yep, that's his 1.
That's right. That's the one, folks. It was an important one. Glad you remember it so well.
That's his 1. So,
jeez.
We played a lot of zone this year. I don't know if you noticed. Did you notice that? We played a lot of zone this year?
Yeah.
Any guess which of our corners had the lowest NFL passer rating allowed in zone coverage?
In zone coverage?
In zone. Because we played a lot of zone this year.
Boy. I have a bad feeling of what it is. I hope I'm wrong. Well, wait. What's the minimum snap count for this?
Well, we barely played any corners this year, so it doesn't really matter.
Is it
minimum
Diggs?
snap count is 1?
Is it Diggs?
Not Diggs.
No,
not Diggs.
That's
in
at least
zone coverage. He actually has
the
highest NFL passer rating allowed.
I will
tell you,
is that counting Dallas?
Guy.
Does that count Dallas game, or is that counting just his snaps for Green Bay? Because obviously, I would never have guessed that if you were counting the Dallas game.
That would be, I think Dallas.
I assume they got to count Dallas for that. My hope is
that's Dallas, unless he played 283 snaps in that Vikings game. That's Dallas.
Yeah, I think he played. I don't know how many he played. 30, probably 30 something. I don't know how many were coverage.
Tool for this has the correct answer. It's Kamal Haddon, who's the only corner to have a sub 100 NFL passer rating when targeted. And we have 2 guys who are over 150.
Wow.
3 guys who are over 130.
Wow. Wonder who they are. Is this non-counting Diggs? Because if it isn't, that's even funnier.
So Keisean had 109, which is, compared to the rest of the group, really respectable.
Cooking. Absolutely cooking.
Shamar Bartholomew, who only just played for us against the Vikings, had a 100 passer rating when targeted.
Absolute stud. Play him. Play him in the wild card game.
Valentine, 133. Diggs, 151. Hobbs, 150. A 150 passer rating when targeted in zone.
First snap of the game against the Bears, put Diggs and Hobbs out there to assert dominance. Their passer rating can't get worse. It's going to get better against you.
Hobbs had a 46 PFF coverage grade in zone this year.
Seems too high.
Diggs, I don't want to say. Never mind. We're not even
28.
We're just going to move on.
His number.
Packer Doug is talking about Bo Melton and said, never mind the 2 balls he tried catching with his face mask. Yeah.
Yes.
Bo Melton is the best tie-up in the league. By listing a guy at corner, how many guys did Matt LaFleur fool into thinking the guy wasn't a wide receiver?
Yes.
Hey, and then...
who's this 16
he
guy?
He outsnapped Matthew Golden, basically.
Yeah. Who's this 16 guy? Is he a corner? Watch his ball go off face mask? Oh, yeah, he is. Why is he out there?
Might as well sign Patty Pimblett State quarterback. What the heck is Patty Pimblett State?
We need Big Cage playing corner for us.
Adam Huddle says LSU about to clean up in the portal. Yeah, probably.
Be hilarious if they go 7-5.
Jace Brown and Damon Williams. I can't believe that there's players who want to go play for Lane Kiffin. His former team is in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Won 2 playoff games. And more of their coaching staff is still jumping ship to go to LSU.
They were going there. They've been going back and forth. That is wild what's going on. And they're in the Final Four. I can't. Georgia, you lost a team that the coaching staff is traveling between LSU and Ole Miss and preparing, and they beat you. What are you doing?
I was very pleased to see Indiana mop the floor with Bama because, as I said all year,
impressive stuff, man.
Bama was awful. Bama was horrible this year. I thought it was really gross. You know, Jake, that I hate the selection committee.
You do.
And I thought it was really gross that we let the media badger us again into charity cases, Alabama and Oklahoma. Oklahoma was only in the playoffs because they had beaten Alabama in the regular season. Bama got into the playoffs because they had a good loss to Oklahoma. Now, you can say that Notre Dame didn't deserve to be in. That's fine. I'm actually not going to stick up for Notre Dame. But BYU sure as heck deserved to be in. Bama was a charity case. Oklahoma was a charity case.
Listen, you can't. I simply can't put BYU in the playoff. Their quarterback wears 47. That's an automatic out. We can't be doing that stuff. Aesthetically,
and so we're
no.
subjected to more Alabama in the playoffs.
I can't do the BYU thing. I cannot do the BYU.
Did you see somebody said that this is
Notre
the
Dame
first?
should have been in. There's no question.
This is the first
They should have
year since Jake. Did you see this is the first year since the invention of the college football playoffs that we've had a semifinal without either Alabama or Ohio State?
Yeah, I mean, I believe that. I mean, those two they've been everywhere, man. They have that, which is great. That's great news. Like, there is more. I know it's not fun for you, Jayden.
Absolutely.
You want Ohio State in there. Who wouldn't? Right, as a fan of that team. But it is
I
really
love
interesting.
The sport. I love it. All the changes these last few years have been great for the sport, and I love it.
Everybody's on even playing field. Outcoach them. Outcoach teams now. See how it goes. And Cignetti says, I will, in fact, outcoach you. Also, I would like to put this out there. I made the joke on Twitter that the Miami Notre Dame debate shouldn't have been a debate. They both been in. We kicked Texas A&M out. Maybe we should have. I don't know.
We probably should have kicked Texas A&M out, but
probably Bama.
Texas A&M deserved to be in over Bama and Oklahoma.
This is true.
But
it was way more fun. It was way more fun to try and get the attention of the 12th fan down there and I'm saying they should have been in. Because their one game against the top 8 team in the standings, they lost. It's because of the schedule. They lost the 2 teams who they needed to probably win and needed to probably beat. I mean, and so
as somebody who likes Notre
Dame,
I was fine with Notre Dame not getting in, and then Notre Dame, once they didn't get in, made themselves even more unlikable than before, which is impressive.
Yeah, they should have done that.
2-0 for this says Bo did legitimately look good at corner in camp. Disagree. Nobody looked good at corner in camp. The clips that you would see in camp of Hobbs or Bo or Keisean looking good in camp were against bad corners. I mean, get bad receivers. At no point this summer, Jake, at any point this summer,
yes,
other than when Nate Hobbs took a baseball bat to Marshawn Lynch and Tanya Hardinged his knee.
Should have played linebacker.
Other than that, when I was like, hey, maybe Hobbs is just going to toughness our way to having good corners. Was there any other point where I cast any vote of confidence for this cornerback room?
No.
In the year 2025?
No. Nope.
Follow-up question. We
should have known
Was
Hobbs.
Base on that.
We should have known that Hobbs, once he did that, he should have been transitioning to the safety and linebacker room, to be honest.
Can't hate on it.
It's a thought for next year. It's a thought. Packer Doug was saying there was a
Actually, I wouldn't hate him at linebacker because it kind of leans into the only stuff he can do well.
Yeah. Didn't McGahee do this a longer time ago than maybe what Doug is thinking of here? I know McGahee had a bunch of knee injuries at Miami, but maybe that's too long ago, which is just a terrifying thought.
ChatGPT says the player is McGahee had high school and college ACL tears.
Okay.
In 3 separate years. Thomas Davis Sr. Didn't play for the U, but he tore the same ACL 3 times. Frank Gore in 2002 and 2003 tore both of his ACLs both years. That's probably who you're thinking of.
Probably.
Although it'd be a little bit funny to call Frank Gore a kid from the U. I'll just say.
Yeah.
Given what he's known for today, which is being the oldest, longest tenured NFL running back. I mean, how many seasons does he play?
A lot.
21? 21 NFL seasons? 21.
Something like
stupid.
That. 21 was 9 plus 10.
Packer Doug says it was McGahee. You know, that one would have done numbers today on TikTok. Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just flipping it because usually if there's a short TikTok, people go, this would have done numbers on Vine.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. We'll get to the college stuff. I know we've been bouncing around. So.
What else do we have started here? Do we get them all?
I think we defensive tackle.
Oh, this one. Hold on. This is the one. Drew says, Drew, are you still in here?
Presumably.
Hold on. Speaking of Drew, since I missed his Venmo last week, let's see if I got Venmo today. There is a Venmo.
Oh.
Chris. Oh, Chris, I'm sorry. This is 50 minutes ago. I need to find a way to make my Venmo notifications pop up on my computer. I'm looking at my screen the whole time. Is Chris still in here?
There we go. Yeah, he is.
Yes. No, Drew. Oh, there's Chris.
Chris and Drew are still here, yes.
Okay, Chris. Got a $5 dono from Chris. Since y'all never read my chats anymore, listen, just don't put profanity or
profanity?
Just other comments that we can't read, and we'll read your comments.
Yeah.
But you put some stuff in your chats that we can't read out loud.
This is a family show.
You have to understand this.
This is a family show.
Since y'all never read my chats anymore, I did see your comment about this, but Jake was on a rant. Gary has the same affliction as Eddie, China food. And he has 5 Chinese food emojis. Signed, Chris the Casual, and PFF is biased, so who cares? That's funny. Who is PFF biased towards? Tell me that. I do want to know. Jake, do you think that Rashan Gary looks fat? I think he looks slow.
I think
he quits on a lot of plays. I don't think he looks fat. It seems like there's some technique problems. Like when he does run, which is not often, he does this really long stride, which is not going to get you anywhere. And
I think it's sometimes when you watch the effort plays, you go, yeah, I don't. Even if he was chasing him, I don't think. I'm not sure it changes the play. He just doesn't look fast enough. The quick, fast, all of that. It just feels like the explosiveness was sapped after the knee injury. And yeah, obviously as somebody who just feels like he is trying to win with more speed than he is power and really has always been for the most part doing that. It's a tough combination of like, if you're sapped the explosiveness and you're still trying to win with mostly speed stuff and not using all of the frame and mass that you've been given to play the sport and turn that into being a powerful player like Van Ness is doing, yeah, it's just that is just not going to fly, and it's to the point where it looks better when Kingsley's playing. When Van Ness is healthy, he shouldn't be out there really, right? It Kingsley and LVN right are kind of with Micah out, or you're probably your base ends at this point, right? And obviously
Gary got benched against the Bears.
Yeah, and it's like I don't trust Gary to be able to push the pocket at all, right? And then he's not going to be able to chase down Caleb. Like, Caleb's too elusive for most people, and for somebody who just doesn't seem like he has any change of direction or anything like that, it's not going to be fruitful to have him hunting quarterbacks out there, especially guys like a Caleb Williams. So, yeah, I mean, and guys, you might, even if you happen to play him, which I don't, that the odds are very low. If you happen to play a Brock Purdy, right? If you happen to play even a Jalen Hurts, right? It's just kind of like, do you trust him to be able to kind of run any of these guys down? Yeah, it just doesn't feel like it anymore. And yeah, it just stinks.
Chris says PFF is biased. You still got to tell me who they're biased towards. We need Oliver on Caleb's right-hand side Saturday night. Again, I didn't watch the Vikings game. I swear I will sit down at some point and watch the tape.
Honestly, you should just
Barryn
watch
Sorrell,
yeah,
and Colin Oliver, and Jordan Morgan at left tackle. Is there anybody else I should watch?
Maybe. Just to know what
there's no reason. Into. I'll learn something about Diggs in the playoff. That's
our king.
Who's our king?
How many snaps did he play?
Oh, Daniel Wheeler is the king.
No, Oladapo played 66 snaps.
I'll watch that.
Might be worth a peek.
I'll watch that. That's a good question.
Just
actually.
to see.
Let's see what PFF says about Oladapo. So on defense, highest graded defensive player, Trayvon Diggs, then Isaiah McDuffie and Javon Bullard, and then free safety, Jonathan Baldwin.
And Sorrell.
The last, north of average grade would be Barryn Sorrell, who had 2 pressures, including a sack and a hurry. Everybody else was below average. Keisean Oladapo had a higher grade than Keisean Nixon. Not really surprising. Was poor in coverage, average in tackling. Keisean Nixon had a good tackling grade. We love that for him. Evan Williams, poor in coverage, average in run defense, good in tackling. Actually, second best tackler on the team behind Jonathan Baldwin. Nazir Stackhouse got out there for 45 snaps, was atrocious, according to PFF, and he had 2 missed tackles. Tyron Hopper, stinker of a game, 2 missed tackles, 30 run defense grade. Warren Brinson played 47 snaps, was
Oladapo is a better
below average across the board. Colby Wooden didn't really play. Brenton Cox, 44 snaps, really bad in run defense, really good in pass rush.
It's about
tackling.
Right.
That tracks with what we kind of think
yeah.
Brenton Cox is. Our guy JDJ, Jamon Dumas Johnson, 67 snaps. Great in run defense.
We take those run defense.
Highest graded run defender on the team for the game.
We take those.
Decent tackler. Huge liability in coverage. You know what? If there was a spot I was not expecting him to be ready, it would have been coverage.
Right.
We'll see.
Exactly. 2 stops against the run. 2 stops. Same with Oladapo, actually.
He also had a pressure. Sorrell might be really fun to watch. Yeah.
Oladapo had a pressure.
Hacker Doug says Oladapo also played most or all special teams. Let's check special teams. Okay, 4 guys had good grades on special teams. Shamar Bartholomew, 11 snaps, 80 PFF grade. Bo Melton and Brenton Cox both played 9 snaps. They had a 73 and a 72. JDJ, 14 snaps, 71. JDJ, baby.
We're all in on that train.
Very average grade. Keisean Oladapo, 22 snaps, 62.3 grade. You'll take that. For sure. Daniel Whelan, 70 punting grade. Thanks, PFF. Who? Jake, are you
Yes.
looking at PFF special teams grades right now?
I am.
Okay. Well, then I can't have you
Oh.
play a guessing game unless
No.
you want to close your eyes and.
I didn't really look at much other than the first 4, so I don't know.
Okay, so close your eyes.
I'm not looking at it. I'm
Close
looking
your eyes.
right.
Who was-
I'm looking right at you. I'm looking
Okay,
right at
who
you.
was? Make a prediction. Who was the lowest graded player on special teams?
Who plays special teams a lot? Do they have a lot of snaps? Was it low?
This
Was it like
guy
a 4?
would have been out there for 100% of snaps he was eligible to play, but he would not be playing for all of them.
Hobbs? Hobbs?
There's no reason the Hobbs couldn't play every single one.
Oh, this guy can't play them all.
Right. Unless you're just gonna wildly put him out of position. I guess Hobbs is too small to block for kicks, and we did attempt one field goal kick.
Oh no! Is that our favorite player?
Oh yeah,
Oh man!
Matt Ostrich.
Oh,
Matt
it is.
Ostrich.
Oh
Yeah. Who are you thinking it was?
I was thinking it was Musgrave.
No. Matt Ostrich. Musgrave.
Did
Here's
he
the
even
thing.
play? I don't
From
think Musgrave got any.
from basically
look like
5 through 29, there's not a gap at all. And then 30 through 34, which is the full
Big
list.
group at T11.
Yeah.
Big
1,
group at
2,
T11.
3. Now, that's the thing though, is
Oh,
that
they've
a
had
lot
one
of
snap.
guys they only played one snap.
That's the
You got
field
a
goal.
60 grade.
That's the field
And,
goal
yeah,
unit right there
it
for
is.
sure.
It is.
Yeah.
And it was nobody got through. So
They're like, all right, well, respect.
and then Banos was
fantastic.
out there for 2 snaps. How was he out there for 2 snaps? Because wouldn't we have needed? Oh, because the field goal must have
did
been
they
the
kick
end of the
off?
game.
Yeah.
No, the field goal must have been the end of the game. There must not have
It
been a
must
kickoff
have,
after it.
Yeah, there must not have been.
For anybody who
Oh.
watched, was the field goal the last play of the game? I can't think of how else he would only been out there for 2 snaps because he had to kick off for one of the halves,
Yep.
and then he had unless somebody else did the
Yeah,
kick-
there's only
attempt.
one snap for kick coverage for the whole team. So
Joe says yes, it was the final play of the game. Wow, so we were that close to almost getting blanked. Jeez. Good grief.
Well,
almost got blanked.
I watched Red Zone briefly near the end to check Falcons Saints. Found out the Jags were dominating. And I saw the Packers were in the red zone. And I thought they were going to let the clock roll out. It seemed like it. So
Turns out getting blanked is something that even coaches who don't care kind of care about.
Yeah. Don't want that goose egg up there.
Joe says a lot of gamblers are pissed off and wanting the game reviewed because of the field goal blew point bet. But what is there to review?
Really?
Was
They
it
blew the
questionable about the clock? What's reviewable about the field goal?
I got it at 12.5. So it shouldn't have burned it.
I just don't know what you could review.
I saw it
about
at
a field
12.
goal.
I saw it at 12.5. So unless it was live betting stuff, maybe. But
Here's a comment that I started from Drew earlier. A question. He said, "What secret chess moves does Halfley have against the Bears?" So the Bears are a good
it closed
offense.
at 13.5. I see. Okay. Probably when they
The
saw
Bears
the
are a
final
good
inactives.
offense. Oh, you took my comment off screen.
Sorry. Who was I?
The Bears are a good
Oh,
offense
that one.
and an atrocious defense. What secret chess moves does Halfley have against the Bears? I'm going to say it would have to be scheming up some pressure up the middle. It would probably have to be a linebacker, or maybe it's Colin Oliver.
I was thinking about that.
Or the other thing would be really trying to mix up and your coverages and try and confuse Caleb, with your coverages, because if you just drop back and play, you're going to get shredded. Our corners are just that bad. So really try to mix up your coverages and do a lot of post snap misdirection. That's what you'd have to do. You know, coffee house splits, etc. That's the kind of thing you'd have to do.
Edge Cooper coffee house split sounds nice to me.
I don't envy Halfley the fact that, number one, he's got a really depleted roster to work with. And number two, he has a quarterback who wants chaos. He wants broken plays. He doesn't want and can't just sit back in the pocket and deliver against a good secondary. We also don't have a good secondary.
That's the problem, right? If it felt like this secondary was one that you could mix up coverages, right? You could put some quarter half in there with the quarters, with 3, with 2, right? However you wanted to kind of layer that on top of each other into matching what they're trying to do offensively. But do you trust the corners to know the principles of what that coverage entails to handle their assignments? I don't know. I'm not sure I do. And if the linebackers were better in coverage on top of it, it just feels like this is not a unit that's going to be good in coverage. And the problem is if you wish you could do what Dallas did to Jalen Hurts in the opener, right? Of like, no explosive passing offense. We're going to make you dink and dunk the ball all the way down the field, right? And it would be great if Green Bay could do that. It felt like that was what Green Bay's yak over expectation and yards after catch per reception to start this season was so good because everybody was rallying to the football. It was, hey, who's getting there first type of thing. And they were wrapping up. They were tremendously good at tackling and doing all that. But it just feels like as the unit has lost key players, it just doesn't, I don't know if there are still some guys, as we mentioned after the Baltimore game, that are playing with that fire, right? But it just doesn't seem like the unit as a whole is playing with that same level as they have been, and that's a concern against guys like Burden.
Have given up on the season. It's so obvious,
and it's really not a good time to be doing this when players like Burden are going to be on the field on Saturday night, right? Like he will. Right. The whole thing with Burden, he's just not a fully refined route tree player at this point. Like he has all of the deep curl route stop stuff because he's so good at decelerating, reaccelerating, all that. But the deal with Burden, explosive in the straight line, and then when he has the football, you had better be ready, because he's so dynamic. And if the unit was playing like they did at the beginning of the year, even in both Lions games where it felt like Jahmyr Gibbs is not doing anything, we're not letting him do anything, and they backed it up both times. It just doesn't feel like they still have that level of, rallying to the football, stop the short stuff, prevent yards after the catch. It just doesn't seem like they have quite that. And also, right, we've seen what Ben Johnson wants to do. They want to run, right? They have no problem making Caleb throw it 16 times, 17 times in this game. And watching Derrick Henry rip this team apart is just not a great sign for Saturday night.
Yeah, like with Drew saying, how do you prevent running backs from carrying our guys after contact for 3 yards? By having better players. All right, that's on Gutekunst. This is what we were ranting and screaming about in May, was that we weren't going out and getting any other defensive tackles who can play. You guys are small. You guys are not good. You need better players.
Stop tackling up high. Stop letting scrums happen. Drop to the ground. It's not going to be an obvious trip. As long as you don't trip by leg whipping, nobody's going to call it. If you get into a potential scrum, drop to the ground. Drop to the ground.
Nice to see our corners, trying to tackle low.
It would be.
Or to see Valentine try and tackle it all instead of trying to go for the interception.
Derrick Henry, just with ease, stiff arming Carrington Valentine will be one of the pictures that is unfortunately stuck in my head from this season. No question about it.
Greg asks, has Matt lost the team? I don't think so. I think if he had lost the team, I mean, it's a freaking 4-game losing streak. So there's that. But if he had lost the team, I don't think Ed Policy would be out here talking about I'm so proud of the way that Matt has led the team through adversity. Like that. You say that when the players are still believing in what you're doing.
Does it feel like, because I think this is a big point, does the offense feel like it's lost faith? No. Not at all. When the offense has 10, they haven't lost faith at all. 87, 9.
Or 2.
Right.
Or 2.
Yeah, or 2. And it's just like the offense is fine. They have not lost faith at all. They are extremely confident in their abilities, and they should be at this point. It's just the defense doesn't have that same swagger that it had early in the season when 95-1 were out there carrying the coverage unit by dominating up front. And then again, when those two are out there, we talk about Parsons' absence all the time, and we've talked a lot about Wyatt's, but it does feel like when those two are out there, the linebackers want it more because they know they're going to get opportunities. Bullard and Williams want it more because they know, hey, this rush unit is going to make them check this down. We're going to go make sure they get nothing. And so that, it just doesn't seem like the same level of intensity is there on the defense. I don't think he's lost the team at all. The offense should be as confident as it could possibly be without 85 out there. But it's not an excuse, of course. It's still a wide open playoffs, right? And San Francisco's, done a great job as well with losing guys this year. But at some point you watched it. If you watch again with Green Bay, you could say it, but also you watched it last Saturday, right? They just don't. San Francisco doesn't have the horses anymore to be able to overcome all of it. Like they can't overcome losing players like that. And if Pearsall's been in and out, Kittle's been in and out, Purdy's missed games, like they at some point, like you can score 42 on Chicago because Chicago's defense is awful. And so you make them look awful. And I trust Shanahan against that defense any day of the week, right? But
just a lot of coaches against that defense.
This week for San Francisco, they're nowhere near as healthy as that team across from them. And unfortunately, it's probably going to rear its ugly head. And
probably. I won't weep
if
at the Niners getting eliminated.
If Green Bay gets past Chicago, you look next week and you go, I mean, they're going to go to Seattle and win? No. They're far too undermanned for that. Right? And so that's the thing with those two teams right now is it's just kind of like, okay, it would be really, really nice for this team headed into 2026, knowing they clipped Chicago this week. That's the positive. I mean, you win this game. I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned about anything else. Everything else is gravy.
There's nothing else out there for this team this year.
This is the one. You want to finish the right way. This is the right way.
Like people throw around like this is your Super Bowl as an insult, which is always a stupid thing to say.
It is.
But like this is our version of the Super Bowl because we're not going to the Super Bowl.
No.
But knocking the Bears out of the playoffs and ensuring that they don't have a nice run to be proud of and that they get bounced in the first round, one and done. And then at that point, people are actually going to start examining their lousy schedule that they had all year and go, yeah, they actually didn't have a single quality win the entire year. Yeah, their
Yeah.
their point differential was dog water all year. Yeah, they were atrocious on defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Caleb actually wasn't that good this year.
Yeah.
This is what we have left to play for.
It is.
Uh,
This is
Packer
what's going to matter.
Chris N says 10 is like how 9 calls himself 9. Disagree, because
No.
Jordan doesn't call himself 10.
We do.
And he doesn't pretend to have an alter ego.
Yeah.
Jake, as a commentator, is calling him 10 the same way people called Rodgers 12.
Right.
So I disagree about that.
Yeah.
But certainly McCarthy calling himself.
See, because
9.
yeah, exactly. McCarthy calls himself that. He's a weirdo.
Right.
He's a weirdo. Okay.
He is a weirdo.
So that was when you put the M on the helm, huh? So that happens when the M goes on. Don't know why. They weird up there.
M for mid. They don't actually have that.
I know what the M's for. I'll put it in the private chat.
They don't actually have an M on there.
Shout out Sharon Moore. Okay. Anyway.
Greg says Matt needs to dial this offense up like he's trying to get Jordan an MVP, which is more passing opportunities. Look, we saw 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, Matt completely abandoned the run because it wasn't working. He knows. He understands the problem.
Yeah.
Having said
Now,
that,
this is Chicago.
you do first of all, you can run in Chicago. Second, you do need to attempt to establish the run because that does benefit the passing game. There's a lot of stuff that you can no longer do in the passing game when you have completely abandoned the run. Having said that, if the run is non-functional, I'm okay with abandoning the run again because drop back and pass can work against this defense. Now, if they just drop back and pass a lot, I think Jordan is throwing 1 or 2 picks. So I'd like to keep the run in there. We don't have to be run first. We can be pass first.
Yeah.
But you need to keep the defense honest. You really need to.
The important caveat is being under center as much as possible. And
absolutely.
Simply
keep
because you are under
in the
center.
Game.
Yeah. Simply because you are under center, the defense, everything changes for this for the defensive line, especially. They're like, all right, there has to be they can't simply commit to their rush immediately when you're under center. Because if you get you're getting gashed in a gap that you should be in for who knows how many yards, right? So though being under center is going to be important no matter what. You saw it with Willis in the Chicago game when Love went out. Like they stayed under center. Willis was able to hit, those intermediate plays off of play action because that threat was still there and Chicago had to at least respect it. This is how the Eagles and the Chiefs and to an extent the Bengals get into trouble because they don't want to be under center. Andy Reid does not want to be under center. He has created the RPO game and everything as a function of the run game, and he doesn't want to be under center. That cost the Chiefs dearly this year. Not being able to run, and especially not being able to run when they're in the gun. The Bengals have dealt with that for years and why they've been one-dimensional passing offense. Philly's in the same boat. Philly's been gun run because they want the zone read and they want to work off of that. That has been less effective as we have gone on here because of what changes when the QB gets under center. So that's going to be important. I agree. If they're dropped back out in the gun, which I know Jordan's comfortable there, and that's really, really good to see, right? When they're getting into empty and doing all that, that's awesome. That Love is comfortable there. But also, everything changes in the calculus of how the Bears are going to play you when you're in the gun, simply because they know what this offense does 99% of the time they're in the gun. They don't know because of LaFleur's kind of stubbornness. That's actually going to work to their advantage staying under center because LaFleur has been so dang stubborn running the football from under center this year. Just because he's been stubborn, they have to respect that.
Yeah.
And so that's what's going to be important in this is they can, and as we mentioned, you can still run on Chicago. It is not impossible to do. Their defensive line is a massive weakness. And I think probably correctly because it's going to benefit them year to year long term, right? Because defense is so volatile year to year, right? What did Chicago do in the draft? They said, well, okay, we're going to go get playmakers for Caleb, right? We're going to rebuild this. We got some old guys like DJ Moore we might need to push out, right? We'll see about Komet. We might just want him to be a blocker, right? Let's go get Loveland. Let's go get Burden, right? Let's put these pieces into the passing game. Let's try to address tackle, right? We'll take care of this offensive stuff because we believe as a structure down the road, this is stuff that's going to be good year to year. Okay, well, you didn't pick any defensive players, and that's going to cost you probably this season. And again, they're not thinking solely about this season, but obviously, they got here, they want to win the game. But that's going to benefit Green Bay as well because, again, they're undermanned, right? The Niners pretty much did whatever they wanted, right? Purdy threw the pick 6. They still dropped 42. So, and I don't think it's going to necessarily, just because of I think the way and how Ben Johnson understands how these first 2 games have gone, it's not going to be 42-38. This game will not be that. This will be possession maximization, right? In this game is they're going to run a bunch, right? They shortened the game against Philly. They did the right thing there. Philly couldn't stop them, right? They've shortened the game against, Green Bay plenty, right? They especially the one in Lambeau, right? They pretty much were like Green Bay was pretty much in a position of they need to keep this moving. This possession, we got to get in the end zone here. This possession, we got to get in the end zone here. So I don't think we're going to get to that track meet stuff that we've seen. And so being under center is going to be important. Hey, Josh Jacobs had one of the biggest plays of the game in their first meeting, right? That toss play, right? Kind of drop the weight a little bit, drop the shoulders, right? Reduce that surface area and force them to tackle you in open space. And they didn't do it. And so, you could say what you want. Yes, the run game isn't as good this year as it was last year. That's absolutely a fact, right? The passing game's still been very, very good. But if you become one-dimensional, right, teams are going to be all over it. Look at the Chiefs. You want a college football example, look at Alabama. It's a great example of what happens when you become one-dimensional, right? Seattle, they're not great running the football this year. They haven't been. Doesn't matter. They still do it. They understand why you must do it, right? So that's just how it's going to be. Like they have to, you have to present, a offense where we can do this and this and this, and it's not just, Philadelphia Eagles, hey 6, hey 11, go win, right? We throw the football, right? That type of thing.
You don't like that,
right? Or hey, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, go win. Or, hey, Kelsey, please get open on a route and improvise for me and win, right? Just isn't what it is. You have to have, ideally, right? Green Bay's pretty much because of the injuries have kind of, they can't really get into heavy personnel too much. They can get into kind of a pseudo 12, 11 and a half with Watson, right? Because he's a good blocker, but they can still present complexity before the snap. And I think that's going to be
illusion of complexity.
Right. Exactly.
Our guy,
how
Greg,
good Seattle passes out of 12, right? That type of stuff. Like, so it just having that is important.
Our guy, Greg, who you were responding to, had a couple other thoughts he wanted to add. Guys, this run game isn't running us to a championship. It's 10. Chef Love, let him cook all the way to a Super Bowl is my point, not just Chicago game. Jordan and this passing game. We can win a championship if Matt calls plays to win his quarterback an MVP, if you understand. I get the point you're making about the pass game being miles better.
Right.
Leagues
There's no
better
disputing that.
than the run game. It's
for sure.
Clearly factual. But a couple things are true at once here. One, defense wins championships. We're going to go up against equally good or better passing attacks in the playoffs on teams that also have offensive lines. Now, by the way, like Seattle and their offensive line, there's probably tougher matchups for us at offensive line in the NFC than them.
Sure.
But they can be gotten sometimes. But I just don't know that we have. Not that I don't know. We don't have the defense to keep up with a team like Seattle. Second, as Jake said on his long rant, 50 different ways. Yes, the pass game is much better than the run game, but also running situationally at the right times, the right frequency, in the right ways with a purpose makes the pass game better than if you just drop back and pass. I understand what you're saying, especially after watching the Malik Willis game.
For sure.
When they completely gave up on the run and just dropped back and pass, it was really effective. And you watch that and you go, well, Jordan's a better quarterback than Malik. Yeah, he is. That would work even better with Jordan than it did with Malik. We could. I think that Malik's running ability forces the defense to account for him a little bit in that capacity, in a way that, you know, Jordan doesn't strike this quite the same fear as a runner. But running with a purpose absolutely sets your pass attack up to have more ways it can attack you, have more ways it can surprise you. Just have a much bigger bag of tools to pull from, so that instead of here's a pass game with 15 different passes we can do. No, here's a pass game with 35 different passes we can do.
Yeah. Right, and that's the whole thing, right? There's a really, really good YouTube video about this game theory, about how passing is so good, so why do teams run? Right? Because objectively, EPA per play, right, all of that, passing is more valuable, right? It is. And because of that, right, think about it. What are defenses going to want to defend? Because it's more valuable. Passing, right? So then the whole idea of the game theory comes up here, and threading that needle is extremely important. Seattle, I think, is a really, really good example of this, because, and again, potentially, if we're here next Tuesday previewing a game, we're going to talk about this more. But Seattle defends the run in nickel pretty well. They sit in nickel no matter what you're doing, essentially, because they have Nickham and Worry playing nickel, or Devon Witherspoon playing nickel, right? They have two guys who can do that who can sit in that kind of role and defend the run. Where has Seattle struggled defensively the most this season? LA, Tampa Bay. What do both of those offenses do when they're humming? Tampa Bay, play action, under center run with multiple backs to keep them fresh. LA Rams, they can pass out of 13. They can run out of 13. They can run in 11 because they have Puka. All of that works beautifully. The Rams are built to beat Seattle because they could run it so well. And Seattle, being hard-headed and understanding that the pass is so important to defend, want to be able to do it in nickel. And Mike McDonald wants Emin Worry to be, I would say, not quite Kyle Hamilton, but more of, again, a big nickel who can essentially be a linebacker and is athletic enough to cover. And, you know, so that whole thing of like, okay, we know what's more valuable, we're defending it. The Rams, pretty much both of their games, especially the one, unfortunately, the Rams lost, we're like, okay, fine. You're going to sit in that all game. We'll run. And they ran it down the field so well. And obviously, again, Puka had 225. So, yes, they did throw. But because they ran it so well, right, Seattle had to start going, okay, do we need to creep bodies into the box now because they keep running so well? So now what are you sacrificing when you put an extra man in the box? Now the explosive passing game can be brought out. So it's this whole chess game of understanding moves and counter moves, and being able to do both is important. If the defense knows you must pass to be successful, what are they going to do? They're going to defend the pass, right? That's the easiest discussion point of like why even Green Bay as a bad running team and even Seattle as a below average run team must still commit to it, because you have to present some level of a question, some level of doubt in the minds of your opponent of what are we going to do on this play? What are we going to do on the next one? That's the reason why the let Jordan cook. Yes, absolutely. But do it by also having threats elsewhere, not being one-dimensional. So there you go.
I think the one comment I wanted to pin here was Zach Tom back, bolsters the run. Agree. Very much agree. Run game, maybe not coincidentally, has died since he's been gone.
Yeah. It's true.
And then Chris says Witherspoon is a cold ass man. Oh, no, a cold ass man. Okay.
Yeah, he is. ILL, baby. But yeah, it's as simple as that. I think that's why you have to do it, and that's why they will do it and continue to.
Do you guys in the chat have any other Packers questions you'd like to tackle? Because I think at this point, because we do have some more all-pro stuff we can get to.
Yep.
I felt like the chat was not super interested in the all-pro stuff. So, like, give us some feedback if you want us to continue the all-pro. Because, like, if you guys are not into it,
in
Jake and I could finish it, like, after the stream with each other. But let us know as you're watching. What do you think about continuing the all-pro stuff? And if you have other Packers questions you wanted to ask, or you can derail us with nonsense too. We like that too.
Yeah.
Chris says Hopper needs to add some serious strength and a little weight. He got boned by 9. He's kind of a big boy already, isn't he? I've always just thought that Hopper's technique was usually lacking. I don't know. Jake, any thoughts about?
I think Hopper got away with winning because he was a little more physically overwhelming and quicker, more explosive than players lined across from him a lot in college. So the technique and all of that didn't matter as much. And now it is because you're jumping up to the NFL. Yeah. So that is something where you still watch it and you go, yeah, that needs to develop and get better. Not saying it can't get there eventually, but
Stiff arm by J.J. McCarthy is a hard way to go.
It is. It's not ideal. You don't want that. Nobody wants that.
Oh, did you want this one? What happened to Ibuka?
Yeah, this was a good question by Tool for this. What happened to Ibuka this year? Because I know we were talking about receivers earlier.
I watched a lot of Tampa early on in the season, and I actually started kind of tuning out of Tampa just coincidentally, kind of around the same time they started to really struggle and then like just limped through the back end of the season. So I was not really there to watch some of their major struggles.
It's been weird with Ibuka because it feels like when everything started to collapse with Tampa Bay, like literally everything started, like everything was falling apart. And it made sense. Tampa Bay early season, I may have brought this up on here, one of the shows, or at the very least on Twitter, where it was like either their DVOA, I think it was their DVOA. It was like worst DVOA of like 5-2 teams or 6-win teams through 8 weeks of the season or something like that. And they were very much on par with 2022 Minnesota. If you remember that team, they won the North, but subsequently all of the, hey, we won these games close, were we that much better than our opponents all year, caught up to them, and Daniel Jones and the Giants clipped them in the wild card round. And so it was like, okay, how long is this going to be sustainable for Tampa this season? A couple things with Tampa. Baker has been not good. I don't know if he's hurt, and that's playing into it, and he's playing through an injury, which maybe, again, could be like that last year in Cleveland. 2, Bucky Irving. Yards after contact per attempt. Bucky Irving was outstanding in year 1. He has been, I think, last of qualifying running backs this year in that. That's not good. Run game hasn't been as good this year, which, again, we've already talked about why that matters. 2, Ibuka's been dropping passes in the second half that he really shouldn't be dropping, which is a really strange thing of like, that's how it feels like all of it is just kind of crumbling. And like nobody is safe from the structure crumbling. all year, and so that's been weird as well. So the Ibuka fall off just kind of feels like, again, partly on him for dropping passes he shouldn't, but then the offense as a whole just it's been discombobulated for quite some time now. So I wouldn't be too worried about Ibuka long term, but yeah, it just feels like you pulled one of the cards out and the house is just, and a lot of it could be just, again, injury related, units not performing right. They've gone different offensive coordinator essentially every year the last few, and that might have caught up to him, right? It's very possible the Grizz isn't as good as Cohen or as good as Canales, right? And that could be part of it as well. It just feels like the entire operation just kind of crumbled a little bit. And yeah, Ibuka happened to kind of partly be collateral, but also partly just hasn't been playing as well as he has all season. At least the 5 or 6 weeks to start it.
Speaking of mid teams that suddenly lost a bunch of games, did you know the Packers' last win was against the Bears, and the Bears' last win was against the Packers?
I did see this. I watched the Fantasy Footballers today, or listened to it.
Of course, they talked about it on there, yeah.
And they did talk about that, about their last win for each team was against the other, which that's cool. I like that. That is a cool little nugget thrown in there that I'm glad you brought up during this. Fascinating stuff. The rivalry's low-key kind of back, which is good for the sport. It's more stressful for us, of course, now that the rivalry's back. And again, I think it will be very annoying to be 2-3 against in the Caleb Williams era of Chicago football. That will stink. Prefer not to do that. So please win. Thanks.
It's been annoying being somewhat non-competitive in the division lately. This year, kind of flipped that around. But last year we went 1-5 and should have gone 0-6.
For sure.
Without the fluke,
the blocked
field goal block should have been 0-6.
Yeah. Nobody has outrightly said they don't want the All Pros. But
well, let's do this then. So we finished up with Edge.
We can do our Bears picks and all
Let's
that.
do the interior of the defensive line.
Okay.
All right. So I had Cam Hayward and Quinnen Williams first team.
Okay. I have Cam Hayward and Jeffrey Simmons.
I had Jeffrey Simmons third team.
Okay.
Like honorable mention. My second team was Ed Oliver and Tavondre Sweat.
Okay. My second team is Quinnen Williams and Kobe Turner.
I had Kobe Turner third team. So did you have a third team? Because
did not for this one.
All right. So I had all four of yours in my top 6. Linebacker. I went 3 linebacker deep.
Okay. I did not. I went a DB spot, a 5th DB spot.
Okay. I had a lot of linebackers.
I was having much fun,
actually.
Okay.
So, give me your 2 first team.
My 2 first teams are Jordan Brooks and Devin Lloyd.
Devin Lloyd. I had Devin Lloyd on here, and then I bumped him for somebody else. So my first team, I had 3 spots. I had Bobby Wagner, Jordan Brooks, and Jack Campbell.
Yep, that makes sense.
I'm a little surprised you didn't have Jack Campbell in your first team. I liked Devin Lloyd.
I hate Iowa players. They're not getting the nod. Refuse to get the nod. Sorry. Go to a different school.
I had Aiden Hutchinson as honorable mention at Edge.
Yeah, same. He would have been higher if he wasn't an Iowa guy. Or a Michigan guy, I mean, as well. Those guys also got to take a backseat a little bit. Okay.
My second team was Drew Tranquil, Jamian Sherwood, and Demario Davis.
Okay. Yeah,
Jamian Sherwood was fringe first team for me
Wow. Okay.
on a really crappy defense.
I was gonna
He's
say,
a very bright star.
yeah. There are the few, the stars on the bad teams. Yeah, it's wild the Dolphins have 2 first team All Pros. I find that hilarious. I think that's probably going to be the case when everyone else votes as well. Again, he had only 330 snaps. So if he had more snaps than that, obviously Fred Warner would be on here. But I went with it was going to be between for me. Obviously Campbell's second team, right? Had to. I struggled between Wagner and Davis for that spot, and I ultimately gave it to Davis.
And I had my third team was Devin Bush, Fred Warner, and Cedric Gray.
Devin Bush,
Yeah, Renaissance.
low key,
Renaissance.
We're doing stuff, which is awesome, very cool. It's got to hurt Pittsburgh a little bit that he's doing it in Cleveland. But yeah, again, Bobby Wagner leading the linebackers in snaps this year. It's crazy stuff, man. What he continues to do.
It really is. 900-year-old Bobby Wagner. For me, he was just a clear and obvious first team selection.
It's fair.
I felt really strongly about all three of my first team All Pros, but I wanted to include room for Jamie and Sherwood as well because I felt like he was deserving. I feel like I had 4 guys for 3 spots.
I love that.
Corner for you. I did 2 boundary corner and a slot.
Okay. I mean, I have that as well. My boundary guys are Stingley and Mitchell for first team, and then my slot is Devin Witherspoon.
I just realized I have 12 starters on defense. I have 2 edge, 2
Well, that's
DT,
how you stop the
3
first team
linebacker,
offense. So.
2 corner, a slot, and 2 safety. So that's funny. All right, tell me again your corners.
Stingley and Mitchell, and then Devin Witherspoon is the DB.
Yeah, I didn't have Mitchell or Stingley on here at all. So my starting boundary guys were Witherspoon and Jamel Dean. And I had Cooper DeJean in the slot. And then I had my second team boundary was Sauce Gardner and Trent McDuffie.
Okay.
Third team there was Mike Jackson and Kamari Lassiter. And then in the slot, my second team was Marcus Jones, and honorable mention was Jaquan McMillan.
Okay. Yeah, so let's see. Corners, second team on the boundary. I have Lassiter and I have Mike Jackson.
Okay.
And then my slot player for second team is Cooper DeJean. Third team. Again, the snap counts were a little bit lower for this boundary corner, but again, I feel like I had to include him. You did as well, Jamel Dean. And then opposite him, I have McDuffie. And then in the slot, third team, Nick Emenwari.
Oh, nice. I did look at him. Yeah.
So 2 Seattle guys in the DB spot for me, first and third team.
They're good.
Secondary was a fun one to do. Big shout
Well,
out.
you also had 2
Jackson.
Philly guys, two Philly secondary guys, and 2.
I had Stingley and Lassiter too. So I had 2 Texans as well.
Oh yeah, true. All right, so safety. It was a slam dunk for me to put McKinney first team.
Okay.
All pro. And to me, it was not just how well he played. It was for how often he was making an atrocious secondary right.
Yep. I agree.
I felt like he was doing his job and 2 other guys' job on every single play this year.
Yep.
So this was a really easy first team inclusion for me. My other starting safety was Antoine Winfield.
Okay.
Who's your first team?
I have McKinney as well. Again, my first team is just two guys who basically did everything they possibly could to hide.
Well, I know exactly who you're going with the other one.
The other guy is the best player from the 2022 NFL Draft. It's Ravens safety Kyle Hamilton.
Oh my gosh!
So
I don't have him on here, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. I didn't have him on here. Who is your second team?
I do not have Winfield. My second team is Derwin James and Jalen Petrie. This will be the third Houston Texan to make my All-Pro teams.
I went Cam Bynum and Brian Branch for second team.
Cam Bynum.
My third team was Brian Cook and Antonio Johnson.
Oh, yes. Okay. Antonio Johnson. Crazy. That Jacksonville defense with Campanile, man.
Whew. We like Campanile.
Campanile's cooking down there. I'm rooting for him.
We all knew he would. I'm
rooting for him, man.
Is Campanile just like... Is Campanile just the Dan Campbell of defense?
Is he the Dan Campbell of Jeff Hafley's?
The Dan Campbell of Jeff Hafley's, I would take 7 days out of 7.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what he is, honestly. Some are saying, I will say, Cody Alexander, Match Quarters, did a really good thread and have had a post as well on Campanile's Jacksonville defense. And just the way he described it, which is, I believe, I got to look, but he kind of described it as like the structurally sound with incredibly timed chaos. Here it is. Okay. So the NFL's defensive landscape is currently divided into two philosophies. Passive pressure structure, think Fangio, think Ravens, McDonald, Minter, that tree. And then the chaos agents, which is your Bowles, Spags, and then obviously Flores. Flores does it with more middle field open than any of those other guys. But he says sitting right in the middle is the NFL's most intriguing defensive experiment, Anthony Campanile's Jags. Imagine you could build a DC in a lab, fanatical belief in the fundamentals of Schiano, solve your problems with aggression of Don Brown, structures of Fangio, face melter blitz package of Flores. Welcome to the resume that is Anthony Campanile. The Jaguars defense is a football nerd's dream. How do you blend Fangio discipline with Flores aggression without causing a disaster? You become the Campanile 2025 Jaguars. It is one of the coolest things I've read ever. If you don't have the subscription to Match Quarters, I would literally just say do the free trial just to read that. If you're not going to read anything else, you can do the 7-day free trial. Might as well. It is so good. So shout out to those boys. Antonio Johnson playing at the level he's playing at after what was a dreadful last season, right? I think he's his third year now out of Texas A&M. I believe he was a 5th-round pick.
Yeah.
So to be able to do what he's doing this year, right, you have, again, your corners are fine. Like Jerrion Jones is playing boundary, right, and he only played really slot at Florida State. You have Jordan Lewis there. You have Greg Newsome, who you swapped with Tyson Campbell. Right, but I think, like, again, they've been foundationally really good defensively, and they have a Lukas and Lloyd, right, at linebacker, which helps solve a lot of problems too, and then Allen, of course, right. But so much of that is working for them, and everything is just falling into place for that defense, and that's what's going to make, I think,
the beginning
Sunday so exciting. Is like, okay, if you think about it, right. Without thinking about it too much, who's a guy you have to like be like on your toes, head on a swivel for 60 minutes? It's Josh Allen, of anybody left in the playoffs, probably, right? Essentially, of like,
yeah, sure,
can simply go Superman in any moment at any point.
And like James Cook is good too, but
James Cook is good. Yeah, and so it's like, as long as you prevent the superhero performance, you're in good shape. You just have to worry about a superhero performance. Other than that, they frustrated Denver. I think they can frustrate New England. Right? When they played the Texans early in the season, they beat them.
That would be really interesting.
Right? And then they had the weird give up the lead. We're dominating them with Davis Mills, not Stroud, yes. But that was a weird game. I think if they play again, I think Jacksonville punches them in the mouth in the best way. And so, like, who are you scared of right now? Jacksonville should be riding high at this point.
0 teams.
That's what I mean. Like, Jacksonville should be scared of nobody. Cohen and Campanile should have these guys feeling like they can take on anybody at this point. As I said, they've dismantled the 1 seed in their place already this year. So, like, who scares you at this point? Only one thing for me. If Josh Allen is a 3-touchdown passing, 3-touchdown rushing game, right? And that's, again, you're going to get that. He gets that a few times a year. You just have to hope he doesn't do that, and you're in good shape. You should win this game. So
Josh Allen,
it's going to feel good if
Josh Allen can beat the Jaguars.
For sure.
He can't win, what would be 4 straight wild card division championship. He can't win 3 straight. He can't win 3 straight. He can beat the Jags. But even in this AFC, he's not winning 3 straight.
Would be incredible if they did it. Because they're likely going to have to go through. Right? If they win, they're going to Denver. I don't see a world where they don't end up going there in the divisional round. And so you're going to have to play against.
AFC is just a.
There is a chance that
AFC and the SEC have a lot in common this year. Let's just say that.
I could see a lot of different things in that. I could see Denver, Jacksonville, which I think makes to me the most sense at this juncture of an AFC championship game. I could also see Buffalo, Houston as an AFC championship game, just because nobody wants to separate themselves. Right?
Yeah.
I would like to see Buffalo, New England. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I really wish Buffalo, Jacksonville was not the first game. I wish this was not a first round matchup. I wish we were getting this divisional round weekend or championship weekend. But I think anything could happen over there. Anyway, I think we did all ours, right?
Southern Turtles is in here saying Barryn Sorrell is the truth. And I do want to ask Jake, do you think Barryn Sorrell gets snaps on defense in this game?
I do.
This playoff game.
I think he will.
I do too. Going back to the playoff thing here. So we could get
let's
probably getting Denver, Houston, probably. Although
unless you think the Bills are winning, you get Denver, Houston.
Unless you think the Bills are getting what?
Unless the Bills win. Are you talking about Denver, Houston divisional, right?
But
are you talking about Denver, Houston?
Denver. Oh yeah, I guess Buffalo.
If you got Jacksonville,
you're probably getting New England, Jacksonville, but fluky game. You could get New England winner of 4-5.
Yeah.
Do you think Pittsburgh can hang with Houston? Because I'd like to see Pittsburgh win.
I think they can. I think they're in a perfect situation where this is going to be first 1 to 20 points, and we know how Pittsburgh wins.
Pittsburgh's
we saw
last playoff win,
like 2016 against the Dolphins, I believe. It was the game before.
It's been 9 years.
It was the game before the Rodgers Hail Mary game against the Giants, because my dad and I were up there in Green Bay watching that Pittsburgh Miami game, I believe, right before Green Bay, and we didn't watch the end of it in there. We already walked in, but I'm pretty sure that's the game.
It's been almost as long as Rodgers' last playoff win, frankly.
Getting there. Yeah, because 2020?
It was the 2020 season.
Right? Yeah. Where Elgton Jenkins got in Aaron Donald's face.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I think
playoff win.
I think Lazard iced it, right? I think that's what got him to 30 points. Lazard off play action, if I'm not mistaken.
I can't remember. I know Devontae had the really memorable touchdown in that game, but I think Lazard also had one.
Oh, because Ramsey was pissed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the motion. See, Aaron, motion's good, man. Remember those days? I really wish Pittsburgh had Darnell for this game. That's really upsetting. I really wanted Washington to be in this. But I do think this is rock fight territory, right? I Sunday night after halftime, I was thinking to myself like, hey, Pittsburgh, they can go down the field and get a touchdown, and then I know that fluky turnover is coming for Baltimore. And of course, ball goes off, ball gets tipped off defender. Stanley tries to keep it up in the air, and Watt picks it off. Like, it's clockwork, man. They can get those.
It's the weirdest. It was still the weirdest game. Predictable in parts, but just the weirdest.
It was predictably unpredictable. That's exactly what that game was. It's like, all right, Baltimore and Pittsburgh getting together. And neither's way better than the other, which means, oh my gosh, this is going to be ridiculous. And it was. And so Pittsburgh with the front they have, right? When everybody's playing, Watt, Highsmith, Herbig, Hayward, who we both agree, all-pro stud this year at age 36, which is nuts. Benton has highs. Harmon's shown flashes as a rookie. They get Yaya Black in there, right? They have like 10 guys who play for them. They can make this messy. And by the way, the 4-5s, you should be freaking out if you're a 5 seed and you feel like you're way better. This happens so much. Just in general, the 4-5 games have.
You think Carolina can knock off LA?
They've already done it. They've already done it. They've already done it. They've already done it as 10-point dogs at home. This is the same game again. I fear for the Rams' lives in this game. If they win this game, they're in great shape. I have full confidence in them right now. They are. The Panthers are outrageously terrible. They should not win this game, and yet. Just
because the Rams lost, look, the Rams lost a lot of games this year. Just because the Rams lost a game, you think that the Panthers are in the Rams' heads? Why would we think that?
The Panthers are in the perfect nothing to lose situation here. Also, the 3 teams that have a worse point differential than the Panthers entering the playoffs have all won their first game. Like, this is just this game unfortunately sets up perfectly for, like, the Rams simply cannot lose this game, right? And then they will. It's awful. I don't want that to happen. I want to get Seahawks Rams in some capacity. I'm just terrified at the fact that the Panthers could potentially go to Chicago, and the Chicago Bears are going to get the free advance to the NFC Championship game because they're playing the dang Panthers in the divisional round. Like, it is nightmare fuel, JJ. It's a terrible outcome. It's terrible. It ruins the fun of the NFC.
Let's pick the NFC games. So, are you taking the Panthers to beat the Rams?
I am.
I'm not.
I am. I think they're good. I really hate the fact that they're probably going to win this game. I hate it. It flat out disgusts me that they're probably going to win. It doesn't make any sense. They've been checked out for 2 weeks. They stink, right? And then they don't. The 4 seeds are perfect for the playoffs because they're the 2 teams where you go 2 weeks of bad play, like, they stink. It's over for them. And then they're back after beating a good team. Like Pittsburgh, after the Green Bay game, they're like, oh, well, this season's over. Like, they're not good anymore. And then they beat the Colts. Like,
I didn't think that after the Green Bay game. I didn't think that.
That's fine. But, like, literally perception, these 2 teams have flipped on perception so much this year, it's insane. Because they go beat the Colts, and then it's like, oh, is Pittsburgh back? And then they got shellacked by the Chargers. Pittsburgh, oh, they're done. Then they go beat the Lions. And then it's like, oh, is Pittsburgh back? No, we're going to lose to Cleveland on the road. Like, they simply can't help themselves. The Panthers have beaten the Packers and Rams, and then they've lost to the Saints twice. These guys simply... we don't know what they're going to do this week. They could both win, and it shouldn't be shocking to anyone.
You know what would be so weird? And I don't believe this could happen. But it would be so weird to get a Panthers-Packers rematch in the playoffs. Because, like...
oh, man.
All right, let's pick the rest of these games here. So, San Francisco, Philly.
Chaos theory.
So, San Francisco's really banged up.
They shouldn't win.
I think I still like San Francisco over Philly here. I really just don't believe in Philly.
I don't believe in Philly, which really hurts me because that means They're going to go to Chicago, which is no fun. I think Philly probably wins. It's lame and really unfortunate. If so, I really hope they just get diced up in their offense. Like everything in my bones, how I feel and how I feel I should feel about these games are just, I think, going to be flipped on their heads.
Let me ask you a question here.
Super annoying.
If the Packers lose to the Bears in the playoffs, are we going to come on here and do a live stream next Tuesday, or are we taking a week off?
No, we have to.
With the coming off a playoff loss to the Bears, you want to do a live stream?
Yep, we got to be here. We got to be here. Listen, I understand. If I was doing live streams in the golf space, every time Rory McIlroy had an absolute crushing defeat, you know what? I would feel like I have to show up. And that's what this is going to feel like if they lose to the Bears in the playoffs, right? But it makes for some good content if we show up. So I feel like we must do so.
All right. So you're picking the Bears to win this one, yes?
You can fill that one out. I will grab the one and I'll fill out one as well then.
You want me to fill? It's just I don't have it set up to fill it out.
Oh. Pretty sure.
This is just an image. Let me.
I think.
Playoff machine. Here we go.
Oh.
Here we go.
Oh, does that let you pick?
So. How do we do this? How do we pick them?
I don't know if you can. On that one.
Playoff. What do we do? What are we supposed to...
Here we go.
Playoff predictors. Will this one work? I think this will work.
Yeah, that should be set. Yeah.
Oh, but this... Where's the...
There you
Here
go.
we go. Wild card round. Okay. So we're both picking San Francisco to knock off Philly, yes?
Yeah.
I think I'm picking Jacksonville to knock off Buffalo, but I admit nervousness about that. Patriots should beat the Chargers.
Yep.
I'm torn on Houston, Pittsburgh. I think I'm going to pick Houston, but like Pittsburgh could absolutely win this.
Yep. 100%.
All right, NFC, you're going Panthers. I can't. I'm going Rams.
That's totally fine.
Panthers are lousy.
They are. I'm not disputing the Panthers are a lousy football team. I'm not disputing it at all. They should be the 7th seed. Division winner who didn't get to 500 should be a 7 seed, period.
I'm curious about something here. Okay. ESPN matchup predictor, which is worth the paper it's written on. 56% Green Bay.
Yep.
I'm just so nervous about the Packers defense.
I really hate the Bears receiving leader. That's really annoying. Super annoying. Can't stand that.
I hate that their rushing leader is DeAndre Swift because he is lousy and Monungai is significantly better than he is. But they can't help themselves. They give Swift all these carries. So I'm a little torn on what to do here because...
Me too. Because I don't
I think I have
all road teams help. Absolutely.
Despite how mad I am at the Packers and how much I think the Packers absolutely stink, I just don't believe in the Bears. But I'm torn
every road
because I feel like if I pick the Bears and you pick the Bears, then we can jinx the Bears and the Packers will win.
Sure.
I think that's a good reason to pick the Bears.
Okay. Also, all road teams in the NFC winning That's what I want to happen. That will not happen. No chance.
Yeah, I think I'll pick the Bears here.
Okay.
But I want the people to know why I'm doing this. I'm doing it to jinx the Bears. I'm a pretty effective jinx. And Jake and I trying to jinx the Bears together, that's got legs. So if the Packers still manage to lose this, despite us jinxing the Bears this hard,
not sure what to do there. We tried.
Then that's just on the Packers for sucking. So, whoops. Let me see. Can we send the division round? Here we go.
Oh yeah,
send the
you can
division
absolutely do it.
Oh, Jags Patriots this is the juiciest one. So let's not
Miles Jack wasn't down revenge, baby.
Let's save this one. Let's do the other three.
Let's get at.
So Seattle's easily beating San Francisco.
Yes, for sure. I have Seattle, San Francisco
Houston,
as well as a matchup.
Give me Denver.
I have Denver, Houston as a matchup as well.
And then LA easily over the Bears.
Yeah.
Also probably LA easily over. Or it wouldn't be, just out of curiosity.
If the Packers win, they're going to Seattle, and the San Francisco goes to LA. It's wild stuff.
All right. But go into what we're calling for. Seattle, LA, Denver. Man. So what do you like better? The Patriots offense or the Jags defense? That's really what this game comes down to.
Campanile, baby. We ride with you, my king.
Dude, what a nasty, nasty conference championship round. Golly. And you know what this would be?
America's
gosh, look at what it is. That's so dumb. That's so dumb. You get the rematch of the 2015. No, not 2015. That was the Panthers. 2014?
2013, yeah. 2013, 2014.
2013.
So, yeah, February of 2014, but 2013 season. Yep.
Disgusting.
I've got mine.
You got your Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah. We agree?
The champion, absolutely, we agree.
So, wait, so who do you have here? You got Jags? You got Seahawks Jags in the Super Bowl?
Nope.
What do you got?
Hang on there.
All right, so you got Houston. I don't know if I can believe in Houston that whole way.
I don't want to either, but
their offense is just so unreliable.
It might be this in reality. But I feel good about this, unfortunately.
I see why you picked Houston here, though, because you've been such a Jags doubter, and it's specifically a Jags offense doubter for forever.
I will say I am such a Jags doubter that I have Liam Cohen, Coach of the Year bets from August.
Yeah, but you have been the biggest Trevor Lawrence doubter.
Me?
Yes, you.
No, I have not. That's just not true at all.
Come on, you wanted
years.
them to. You wanted. You said they were going to need a new quarterback.
I did say that. You're right. I did say that. But if you're calling me the biggest Trevor Lawrence doubter, we're gonna
the biggest Trevor Lawrence doubter on this podcast.
Okay. Well, that's
deny that accusation. You can't beat that accusation.
Yeah, but that's not what you said initially. You tried to trump it up a little bit there. I see your moves.
Okay, fully healthy Travis Hunter all year. Are you taking Jags to make the Super Bowl?
Yeah. Because he played corner right now for them.
And still lose to the Seahawks, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Listen,
I'm not going to sim anything with the Packers.
This is what I think. Okay.
We'll reserve that privilege for if the Packers decide to show up.
This is what I think, and I hate that. This is what I want. Okay, let's do this. Boop. 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 Okay,
so you have all home teams winning.
In the AFC, yes.
Or
the NFC, none.
All home teams in the AFC, all road teams in the NFC.
Yes. All right. Now, things I want. Bloop, bloop.
Steelers, yeah.
Yeah, baby. Realistically,
No,
let's
hold
just
on.
do this.
Wait,
What?
no,
What?
hold on.
You want this?
Stop. Just pause.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, there you go. That's what we all want. That's
Everybody
what
wants it, and
football
then
gods want.
nope, get absolutely denied. No, actually,
There you have it, guys. Jake's
would
the one who
be-
now jinxed the Packers. I tried so hard to jinx the Bears, and now he's jinxed the Packers.
I would actually
It's like he
probably
jinxed
want
Tucker Kraft.
Rodgers to get one, so the Green Bay can get it with Parsons and Kraft. But in a more realistic sense, I really wish these two wouldn't be playing each other that weekend. I think it's more going to be like, I want Green Bay to get this one, and then I'm not. Then it's kind of gravy. I'm in on this. Give me this one.
I guess
That's what I'm looking for. Or I can be talked into this.
Here, I got one for it. We should wrap up after this. But I got one, and then you could do this too.
I'm in on this. One home team wins this weekend. That would be sick. That would be sick.
Pick who you would be
Patriots?
rooting.
The Patriots are Kurt Signetti right here. They're like, oh, no. We'll be the one team who takes care of business at home when we're supposed to. One team who takes care of business when we're supposed to. Everybody else getting clowned. Except the Rams are kind of in that reality too of like should demolish them. But on the record,
I
got Panthers
let's
money.
do our who we're rooting against the hardest in the playoffs here.
Oh.
So
Rooting against,
like
right? Worst case scenarios, sure.
Yeah, like who
All right.
do you want knocked out as
Okay. Definitely them. This one I like both of them, so it doesn't really concern me.
I was thinking more like a draft. Like we draft.
This is the worst. Here you go. Absolute dreadful outcomes right here.
So
this would be really bad for me.
It's not too unrealistic either. Except
I don't
for
hate the
Chargers
Panthers.
over Patriots.
I don't hate
Chargers
the
over
Panthers,
Patriots is the only really unrealistic thing here.
I know that's so if we do this, yeah, we can still have it. That's fine. We can still get there. This would be nightmare fuel hours, right?
My rooting interests, rooting the hardest against the Bears.
Do not like this.
Then the Niners. Then probably the Rams because I don't like Sean McVay. Then the Panthers. I just don't like the Panthers.
Okay.
Then
can't get these two to play each other in the NFC Championship game. It's not possible. Otherwise, I would have it. But we can't do it.
Then the Chargers. Then the Bills. Then the Patriots. Then the Broncos. Then the Eagles, Seahawks.
So, okay, so your top three that you don't want to win it all.
Bears,
Niners,
49ers.
And
who did I say third? Did I say the Rams third?
Did you say Rams? You might have.
But I'm also torn because like the Rams are good, and I actually want good teams to progress through, not
that's what I'm saying.
Not dog water teams.
Yeah.
So probably Bears, Niners. Oh, screw it, Bills. Bears, Niners, Bills.
Okay. So for me, the top four that separate themselves from the rest are in terms of like do not want.
Yeah.
Bears 1, Eagles 2, Texans 3, Broncos 4.
That's misguided.
That's
misguided. Not
my opinion's misguided.
Not
JJ.
have the Niners in the top 4.
Niners don't bother me at all. It's not misguided. It's misguided in your eyes because you don't like them.
I don't like them.
Okay, so then it's misguided in your eyes.
The whole point is that I don't like them, and
That's
no
fine.
Packer fans.
I don't mind them, so I get my opinion on this show. Thanks.
Well, look, it's happened again. You've wasted 3 perfectly good hours.
Who are your top 3 to win that you want to win? In order.
Packers.
Okay.
have to pick somebody else after them?
You do. Yes, because they're not going to win.
Packers, Jags. I guess Texans. Packers, Jags, Texans.
Okay. Nice.
And maybe it's actually Packers, Texans, Jags. It's probably Packers, Texans, Jags. Yeah.
This is nightmare Super Bowl for sure. Easily. Because
anything where the Bears are in the Super Bowl is nightmare material.
That's fair.
Anything where the Bears win any playoff games at all is nightmare scenario. If the Bears make it to the second round, that's a nightmare. If they make it to the third round, that's nauseating.
Yeah.
Oy vey. Oy vey is what I got to say. Well, folks, we'll see. We'll see if Jake's going to let me end it this time. Or if he's still just needs to run a few more scenarios. I'll tell you who has a lot more scenarios he needs to run for the Packers offseason.
Who's that?
The man, the myth, the savior, Mr. Ed Policy.
Yes.
We're celebrating Ed Policy Day a little bit early because he's going to find a way to save the Packers and fix this team this offseason.
He's going after Jesse Minter.
Gonna have to go after somebody.
The scallywag.
Somewhere. You, beautiful people, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you most muchly. From all of us here at Derailed, thank you so much for listening. Go